It's Friday, November 14th. Today, outrage over the release of a convicted killer. The call to change the law surrounding statutory release for those convicted of multiple killings. Transforming Canada's economy, the latest projects the Prime Minister is fast-tracking. They may not be in the Grey Cup, but the Bombers are still taking home some hardware. The player that picked up his CFL award Thursday. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It is a big weekend in our province. We have the Santa Claus Parade, which of course is happening tomorrow. We have Grey Cup Festival, Grey Cup on Sunday, so much going on. But tomorrow we are actually going to be hosting a special Santa Claus Parade show, and that's Ainsley McPhail is going to tell us about what we can expect, how many floats will be there. There's a lot more this year because they're sort of joining in the Grey Cup festivities into the parade. So we're going to find out more about that, but it's going to be a good time. And the weather, what's it going to be like?
Well, it's been so beautiful, hasn't it been? I mean, and today might be the best of it. And then the weekend won't be the best of it. It'll still be good. Look at that. Just a sliver of a moon out there this morning. And 5 degrees. Yeah, that's +5 that we're waking up to this morning. There's a bit of a breeze to go along with it. It's out of the south, the wind I'm talking about, 44 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 77%. We might see a few more clouds. I know we've been just soaking up the sunshine and these lovely temperatures. Well, the temperatures might get even lovelier. The conditions, maybe not so, only because we'll see a few more clouds moving in, and then across northern Manitoba with those clouds comes the snow and a snowfall warning, 10 to 15 centimeters. You could be getting walloped and have some shoveling to do. There will be some places that see a little more of that mixed precipitation. And speaking of precipitation, we could see some of that as well. The possibility of some showers rolling through for later on today. Like I said, the clouds will certainly be on the heavier side into the afternoon, but now it does look like there could be a chance of some showers rolling through the afternoon, but maybe even still sticking around into the evening time. All of that, though, clears out nicely, and it is going to be sunny for the weekend. It's not going to be as warm. These temperatures today will still be ramping up. We've been talking about the double digits that you can expect on Friday, and that still looks to be the case. But then for the weekend, when it clears out and becomes a whole lot sunnier, temperatures will be dropping off, but still staying above seasonal. -2 is a normal daytime high now, and it looks like we'll remain in those plus digits well throughout the middle toward the end of next week. Today, though, yes, double digits. Heavier clouds, possible showers.
Thank you, Terry. Outrage is brewing over the release of convicted killer Sean Lamb. Lamb was handed a 20-year sentence in 2013 for killing 2 Indigenous women. And after serving 2/3 of that sentence, he's now been granted statutory release, a move that's prompting calls to change the law. CTV's Jeff Gill explains.
Family members of Caroline Sinclair, Lorna Blacksmith, and Tanya Niepenak say they were blindsided by a parole board decision to release convicted killer Sean Lamb.
It's triggering. It just feels like it happened yesterday. And it's unbelievable that it turned out this way.
The 66-year-old pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter for the 2012 killings of Sinclair and Blacksmith. Charges were stayed in relation to Niepenak, who has never been found. In 2013, Lamb was sentenced to 20 years. Court heard he beat Sinclair with an axe handle and weeks later strangled Blacksmith with a TV cord. But now he's been granted statutory release with conditions, which all federal inmates are eligible for under the law after serving 2/3 of their sentence. The parole board said Lamb presents a high imminent risk of violence towards a partner, while a low imminent risk of violence towards others.
I think Indigenous women are really very, very, very scared at this point.
Relatives and Indigenous leaders rallied in Winnipeg calling for change. Some want consecutive sentences mandated for multiple killings. Others want families of victims notified before someone is released. And they want to be part of the release process because they question how Lamb could be let out so soon.
I don't think this man should be walking around free after only 13 years.
The justice system is not providing any justice. They did not share any information.
MKO Grand Chief Garrison Settee was chief of Pimicikamak Cree Nation, where Lorna Blacksmith is from, when she disappeared.
I am outraged that this man is being released into society as if her life did not matter, but also the lives of the other victims.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
CTV News reached out to the Federal Justice Minister's office for comment. We are waiting for a response. One person has died due to an ongoing hepatitis A outbreak impacting several northern communities. Grand Chief Alex McDougall of Island Lake Grand Council confirmed to CTV News the outbreak has been underway for nearly a week with 30 cases reported. The majority are in Garden Hill First Nation. A state of emergency was declared Thursday in Garden Hill, but the chief notes the virus is also actively spreading in St. Teresa Point, Wasagamak, and Red Sucker Lake. A spokesperson for the province says it's aware of the outbreak, noting Manitoba health officials are working with Indigenous Services Canada to respond. A Winnipeg courtroom was packed Thursday as a fight between Bloodvein First Nation and a federation representing hunters went before a judge. The Manitoba Wildlife Federation's suit claims the First Nation, which is located about 200 kilometers north of Winnipeg, set up an illegal highway blockade, and they say it's preventing licensed hunters from using the Crown land to hunt moose. Court heard Bloodvein First Nation first set up a road check stop at Rice River Road in May to prevent the flow of drugs and alcohol into the nation. However, the Wildlife Federation claims that turned into a blockade later in the summer. It says licensed moose hunters are being turned away, unable to access designated hunting areas. MWF is calling the action unlawful and is asking the court for an injunction to have it removed. Bloodvein wants the motion dismissed. The nation's chief is acknowledging the First Nation does not have the right to keep hunters away.
Just wanting to ensure that our members are safe, wanting to ensure that we're listening to what our members are saying. You have grandmothers, you have mothers, you have grandfathers, you have fathers, and they're all saying that they want to stop the drugs and alcohol that are coming in.
A Manitoba Wildlife Federation advisor says they would welcome a quick decision.
We didn't know if we'd have a decision made today. Looks like the justice is going to provide a decision on November 27th, so we're happy to hear that's coming quickly before the season begins, and it's hard to say which way it's going to go right now.
The province and the Minister of Natural Resources and Indigenous Futures, Ian Bushy, are both listed as co-respondents on the court action. The province's lawyer told court the province is not taking a position on the matter, saying it's the province's view Rice River Road should be accessible to all Manitobans. The court adjourned until Thursday, November 27th. At least 11 people are in critical condition after a toxic gas leak in Oklahoma.
And we just couldn't breathe. We couldn't breathe. Like I thought I'm dying. I thought I'm going to quit running and just collapse on the floor.
Clouds of ammonia gas could be seen in this hotel parking lot, leaking from a tanker truck on Wednesday night. More than 30 people were rushed to hospital and hundreds more were evacuated. CSIS is warning that China and Russia have significant interest in the Arctic and are spying on governments and businesses developing the vast region's potential.
Non-Arctic states, including the People's Republic of China, seek to gain a strategic and economic foothold in the region. Russia, an Arctic state with a significant military presence in the region, remains unpredictable and aggressive.
Canada's spy agency says it has shared the information with Inuit and territorial governments. In that same update, the CSIS director warned about the number of young people being radicalized, many of them online, adding that 10% of all terrorism investigations in Canada now involve a minor. The CFL Awards were handed out Thursday evening at Club Regent Event Centre. Despite the Bombers not making it to this year's Grey Cup, one of their players is taking home a lot of hardware.
And the winner is...
And the CFL's most outstanding rookie is Trey
Vavel.
The 25-year-old rookie kick returner also captured the Special Teams Award. That makes him just the third person to win both in the same season. A full list of the CFL's winners can be found at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Here's a look now what's happening in traffic along McPhillip Street. Things are moving well here. No issues to tell you about this early Friday morning. If you do see any problems, though, let us know, please. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's telling us all about the Santa Claus parade because Santa is coming to town. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. He is coming to town and with some brand new decked out lights on his float, or his sleigh, I should say. This morning I put on a green shirt thinking, oh, Christmas. And then I thought, oh no, I don't want it to be misconstrued because it's also coincides with some Grey Cup festivities going on, right? Just wanted to make the clear distinction. This is for Christmas, everybody. Stay calm. So the first thing in the parade is the Grey Cup itself. So we're going to be joined by Jeff McWhinney, the keeper of it, and he's going to tell us all about that experience. The Grey Cup gets a really sweet ride as well. Then the Bombers. Cheerleaders, including alumni, kind of dispersed throughout that. But all of the Santa floats and parade festivities that you're knowing and loving. Tons of parties as well coinciding. They do want you to know about some traffic notes, so head to a link on our website for more details on that. Plan some extra time for your trip, and they even made a note too to disperse maybe where not all of the people will be. Portage and Maine and other places as well. So pick your favorite route and stick with it.
Yeah, and of course, we will be broadcasting live on our website, and you can watch it starting at 5 p.m. a live stream. Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now, and while we sit out there enjoying the show tomorrow, it's going to be a nice day.
It is. It's going to be beautiful. Not quite as warm as what today will be. In fact, not even as warm as what it might be right now. These temperatures that we're experiencing this morning are shockingly mild. We're at 5 degrees right now, whereas tomorrow's high is about 3. Still, that is above seasonal. It's just indicative of how much above seasonal today's temperatures are going to be. So south winds, we will deal with that bit of a breeze. It's gusting right now to 44 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 80%. Now, we will see a few more clouds throughout the day today than what we've been seeing over the past several days. I know it's just been so beautiful and sunny and bright. Well, today a few more clouds, but even warmer temperatures are expected. Mercury is already warmer than it's been for a lot of the week, but it will continue to rise throughout the day today, likely hitting those double digits into the afternoon. But there's also the possibility of some precipitation to roll through. Showers here across southern Manitoba. But that means we've got to mention the snow moving across northern Manitoba with snowfall warnings in place. 10 to 15 centimeters is possible. We're taking a break right now. We'll be back with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Good morning. Dozens of people rallied Thursday evening after a 10-year-old was hit while using a crosswalk on Osborne Street.
It's huge. It's a hard thing to go through as a parent. It's a nightmare to find out your kid's been hurt. So to have everyone else taking care of the details and putting something like this together means a lot.
The group says the boy was hit November 5th at the intersection of Brandon Avenue. They rallied to show their support for the boy and his family. The boy's mother says he's doing well today, saying he has dental surgery scheduled next week. Manitoba's premier is not ruling out an early election ahead of the scheduled date of October 5th, 2027. Wab Kinew says he was close to calling an early vote very recently when it looked like a bill to detain highly intoxicated people for up to 72 hours might not pass. The bill was voted into law last week after the opposition Conservatives tried but failed to amend it. Kinew says he could see a scenario in which an election is called if he feels the opposition is playing what he calls political games. Kinew told delegates at an NDP convention last weekend that the party is already preparing for the next election and has chosen a campaign manager. Exploring other markets is how Canada wants to reduce its reliance on the United States. Shoring up domestic capabilities is another way. The Prime Minister revealing Thursday the next group of projects to be fast-tracked. CTV's Mike Le Couture has more on what made the list.
They are part of nation-building strategies to transform our economies.
The Prime Minister says the transformation is necessary because it's estimated U.S. tariffs and the accompanying uncertainty will cost the Canadian government $50 billion.
Silisms will become Canada's second largest LNG facility with a capacity to export 12 million tons of LNG every year to new markets.
In addition to that facility, the second round of projects includes a hydroelectric development project in Iqaluit, the Sisson Mine project in New Brunswick, the Crawford Nickel Mine project in northern Ontario, the North Coast Transmission Line in northwestern BC, and the Nouveau Monde Graphite Mine north of Montreal. all of them at various stages of development. And the head of the Major Projects Office says her role will be to speed up the process.
Our job is all about making sure that people get across the line, get everything they need to get built on time and on budget.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says the new federal office is part of the problem.
He's created yet another bureaucracy, a new bureaucratic hurdle for miners and oil and gas enterprises and other resource companies to jump through in order to get anything approved.
The Sisson mine has been talked about for years, and New Brunswick's premier wants additional help to ensure its longevity.
We are looking for an offtake agreement. We're looking for a price floor. Those two tools help both attract more investment and secure the value of the resource.
A government source tells CTV News those types of measures were discussed by natural resources ministers from the G7 2 weeks ago in Toronto. Their new production alliance is an effort to prevent China from cornering the market on critical minerals.
Swedish company Saab says it could bring 10,000 jobs to our country.
It's important for Canada to have sovereign capability in Canada to do their own upgrades, to build parts of it, to do final assembly and tests. We, as Saab, we are prepared to do that technology transfer to Canada.
Saab is the maker of the Gripen fighter jet. Its CEO says there have been talks with Ottawa about manufacturing the jet here in Canada. But that's only if Canada adds the Gripen to its military fleet. Ottawa has signed on to buy as many as 88 F-35s from the U.S., but that deal is under review right now. No decision has been made yet on whether to stick to that deal or go with a dual fleet that includes the Gripen. The local chapter of the Salvation Army is getting ready for its annual donation drive for Toy Mountain. And to kick it all off, it's preparing its float for this weekend's Santa Claus Parade. CTV News got a sneak peek of the unfinished float. This year's theme is Whoville, the fictional town and how the Grinch stole Christmas. In addition to all the lights and whimsical village setting, organizers say you can expect to see the Grinch himself along with his trusty dog, Max. The Salvation Army's Toy Mountain donation drive gets underway next week with drop-off locations at Scotiabank's Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Stations, Toys R Us, and IKEA. One of the Grey Cup's oldest and quirkiest traditions is back. Tough Enough, the mascot of the Calgary Stampeders, made his grand entrance at the Winnipeg Art Gallery. It's part of an annual tradition stretching back to 1948. A Stampeders fan rode a horse into the lobby of Toronto's Royal York Hotel, and fans have duplicated it every year since. Tough Enough also made an appearance in the lobby of the Holiday Inn yesterday. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The eastbound median and left turn storage lanes are closed on Bison Drive from Waverley to Pembina. The westbound shoulder lane will be closed following the rush. The northbound median lane will also be closing on Henderson Highway between McIntosh and Washington after rush hour. If you have any other traffic tips to share with us, please text them at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
A beautiful start to your morning, very mild as we look now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Mild but breezy once again, with these temperatures well above seasonal, not just for overnight lows. We've soared well beyond daytime highs here in Winnipeg. We're sitting at 5 degrees, seeing similar temperatures surrounding us, plus digits all through the southeastern side of the province. A little bit cooler over in the Brandon area, -3 right now, but many places still through central Manitoba are either at the freezing mark or still a couple degrees above. Now, moving up into parts of northern Manitoba, you can expect some snow today. We've got warnings in place through much of northern Manitoba of the 10 to 15 centimeters of snow that's going to be coming. So your temperatures will likely stay a little bit cooler yet, especially further that you go into the north. For some, though, as you hover close to the freezing mark, you might see a little bit of mixed precipitation. It doesn't show on the satellite image through northern Manitoba, but you can see the heavier clouds that are there and expect that there will be some snow or, again, perhaps some freezing rain, maybe even some straight up showers. We possibly could see some showers for later on today. The chance is certainly there. And we will also notice the heavier clouds building up through the day. So it has been incredibly sunny. We're not going to be seeing as much of that today. We will get the sunshine back for the weekend, but today some heavier clouds building and that chance of showers is there. But look at these temperatures. By lunch lunchtime today, 11 degrees, up to 12 by the time kids are coming home from school. A bit of a breeze today, but that will be tapering off, and then sunshine back for the weekend. Temperatures will be dropping off, but -2, that's normal for this time of year. So even as the temperatures fall from the double digits, we'll still remain in the plus digits and well above what you would expect for this time of year. Another incredible shot taken in the Fisher Branch area. Ray sent this to us, said one of the parishioners at the church had captured this shot. So absolutely stunning. Keep the photos coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Magical sights and sounds are coming to downtown Winnipeg. It's time for the Manitoba Hydro Santa Claus Parade. Stream it live November 15th at 5 p.m. on ctvwinnipeg.ca. Brought to you by Manitoba Hydro.
Rainbow Stage is celebrating a record-setting season, and it's announced some activities to help tide you over until next season. The company says it welcomed the highest number of patrons in recent history during its 2025 season. Productions this year included Rock of Ages, the ever-popular Frozen, and Afterlight, which just wrapped up last week. It says the 2026 season announcement is coming soon. In the meantime, Rainbow Stage is offering free community dance lessons, whether you're already a professional or you're just putting on your dancing shoes for the first time. It starts with a theater jazz class next week before moving on to hip-hop in December. You can head to rainbowstage.ca to learn more and register. Last month, we gave you the first look at some of the items of going up for sale in the Hudson's Bay Company auction next week. After that story aired, a viewer emailed CTV with a deeply personal connection to one of the items. CTV's Allison Bamford picks it up from there.
His first experience was at his father's easel.
A portrait of a young Frederick Marlett Bell Smith, the focal point on a wall of art dedicated to his legacy.
It's just part of who I am, part of my history.
Nancy Bell Smith is Frederick's great-granddaughter. She never met the Canadian artist, but they're connected through his work. Some she's inherited, others she's purchased.
He's first sold it for $15. I paid a little more than that, you know.
Perhaps his most notable masterpiece hangs here, waiting for auction later this month.
Well, it's a hustle and bustle of King and Young.
Titled Lights of a City Street, depicting a rainy Toronto intersection in 1894, part of the Hudson's Bay Company collection that was on display in Toronto for years, now estimated to fetch up to $150,000. It's a painting that brings Belle Smith extreme pride every time she sees it in person.
As a child, I would have seen it in the actual Simpsons building, and as an adult, I've taken my husband and children there as well.
Like these paintings that Belle Smith has enjoyed for years, she wants one of her great-grandfather's most famous works to stay in Canada for everyone to enjoy.
It would be a shame if it was in a private collection somewhere and nobody is able to see it.
She's sent letters to Toronto museums, galleries, and government officials asking them to consider acquiring the piece. Belle Smith heard back from the Art Gallery of Ontario, the curator telling her they are giving it due consideration, but are not at liberty to reveal their intentions.
That made me feel hopeful that they had some intentions toward the painting.
Hope that her great-grandfather's legacy will once again hang on public display. Allison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
It's 5 degrees outside this morning. That is so far above seasonal. 15 degrees, in fact. -10 would be a normal low. We've got a breeze. It's out of the south. 44 kilometers per hour is what it's gusting to right now, with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 80%. Beautiful conditions here through southern Manitoba, with temperatures expected to soar today. For northern Manitoba, you've actually got snowfall warnings in place. You're about to get walloped with 10 to 15 centimeters of snow as it cuts through. There will be some places just on the edge of that system that may see some more mixed precipitation. Temperatures are still likely to be fairly mild right up into northern Manitoba. Nowhere near as mild as here in the south, where double digits are expected. 12 degrees on tap today. Winds will be shifting out of the west to about 20 kilometers per hour. Now, while it's been incredibly sunny through most of this week, we'll see a few more clouds building up today and could possibly even see some scattered precipitation. A little bit of light shower activity through the afternoon or into the evening time. But then just a few clouds hanging around overnight as we drop down to -2. Those clouds continue to clear for tomorrow. The sunshine back again. It won't be anywhere near as warm, but it will still be above seasonal. 3 degrees, nothing wrong with that for mid-November. That is still well above the seasonal -2. Winds tomorrow out of the west, gusting at times to 40 clicks, so a little bit of a breeze that you'll notice. And through Sunday, the sunshine sticks around as well. These plus-digit temperatures actually will be sticking around well in toward the end of next week.
Winnipeg defense lawyers are being asked to review potentially thousands of police cases for any possible miscarriages of justice. It comes after an officer pleaded guilty to corruption and illegal activity, but the massive task has left many defense lawyers both confused and frustrated.
I don't know how that is a reasonable ask of a defense lawyer. I don't know how that is going to be achieved.
This week, 22-year-old police veteran Elston Bostock pleaded guilty to several charges, including breach of trust, attempting to obstruct justice, and indignity to human remains. Now, the Manitoba Prosecution Service is asking defense lawyers who've represented clients whose convictions involved Bostock to review the cases for any evidence of misconduct. The Criminal Defense Lawyers Association of Manitoba says this could be an expensive and difficult task, as there are potentially thousands of cases to review.
I think a lot of us are frustrated. You know, a lot of lawyers extremely busy, right? They've got many of these cases that are open they're dealing with, you know, and now they're being asked maybe to go back and look at several hundred closed files that maybe they don't have easy access to.
In a statement, a provincial spokesperson says the Crown has an obligation to disclose relevant information it has about police misconduct to the defense, adding, given the Crown's obligation, this is standard practice in cases such as this. CTV News has learned that the Ontario government is making a big move in healthcare. It's launching a program that would move hundreds of patients out of hospitals and into their homes to be cared for by private companies. CTV's John Woodward finds out what's behind the project.
Dr. Amina Jabbar has a problem in her seniors internal medicine unit just outside Toronto.
You know, at the beginning of fall-ish, with a 30% rate of patients who just can't go home.
Can't leave the unit in the Trillium Health Partners Hospital, meaning there's no room for anyone new. A problem replicated across Ontario hospitals. Government figures say some 5,000 patients are in this situation, half of them waiting for long-term care beds that aren't opening up either. The Ontario government proposing to find a way to care for them at home, according to documents obtained by CTV News. The model called high-intensity bundled home care. A call for proposals for companies who can care for patients who meet a crisis designation, who have mental health or addictions issues, and who are awaiting rehab but can't get a rehab bed. At this stage, the ministry is planning for 570 weekly active patients across Ontario, 145 of those in Toronto. The government would pay a flat fee of $1,500 per week for people with mental health or addictions issues, and $5,000 per week for anyone with higher medical needs. Critics worry there's already a worker shortage.
I hear from home care recipients all the time that it is very difficult to find workers. There are missed appointments. There are issues with, you know, of course, the safety that comes with that.
The province's opposition is recalling problems with previous efforts at home care.
People going without catheters. We've all heard those nightmare stories. So I have some very deep concerns.
Dr. Jabbar, hopeful but skeptical it's enough.
It is the supports that we absolutely need at home. But frankly, it's a Band-Aid on a gaping wound.
There's a very short timeline here. The government is asking these companies to submit their proposals in a week, with the expectation their service will be up and running in 4 weeks. The projected cost for the first tranche of patients is expected to be about $11 million. John Woodward, CTV News.
Talks over the future of the CAMI plant in Ingersoll are still happening, but those talks are starting to get heated.
We want to make sure that people are going home safe at night. And so
My hope is that the negotiations and the talking provides a good outcome, and it doesn't need to come to anything.
The Union for the Workers says it's ready to take over the plant. A statement says, quote, "Nothing comes in and nothing goes out. If they try to remove even one single thing from the plant, we are ready to take over. We are not kidding. We are fighting to ensure CAMI stays open." GM makes the Bright Drop EV at the plant. Last month, the company announced it's stopping production. Ottawa has told GM to come up with a plan for next steps. So far, there have been no updates. Caitlin Clark's latest Nike shoe drop has sold out in just minutes. She's worn an array of Kobe Bryant's Nike shoes through her career, but these ones are also in her name. These are in light armory blue with a snake skin texture and other blue accents. They're being sold for thousands on resale sites right now. The Winnipeg Jets were back in action last night, coming off that 5-3 win against the Canucks Tuesday, and they were looking for revenge when they visited the Seattle Kraken, who shut out the Jets during their last meeting.
Behind the play, here's Niederreiter to DeMello, set up, and then centering pass, they score! Terrific!
Scoring for the Jets on this night were Mark Scheifele, Alex Iafallo, and Kyle Connor. But those 3 goals were not enough to win this one. Seattle broke a 3-3 tie at 7:21 in the third, and the Kraken added an empty netter for a 5-3 Kraken win. The Jets dropped to 1-4 so far on this road trip. Winnipeg plays its last road game of its West stretch Saturday night in Calgary. Puck drop against the Flames is happening at 9 p.m. Here's what's happening now along the Norwood Bridge. Things are looking pretty good over here. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see problems out there, please let us know. Let's look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.36. The provincial average is lower at $1.30. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.28, and the lowest price in the city is $1.18. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Santa is coming to town. The Santa Claus Parade is happening tomorrow. Ainsley McPhail is going to give us all the details on what to expect. Stay with us.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
All right, it is pleasant out here this morning, well above seasonal with these temperatures. I don't even feel like we've really had a taste of what is normal for this time of year, but even without that reference point to really know, you know that it doesn't typically feel like this mid-November. We're sitting at 5 degrees to begin the day. There's a bit of a breeze out of the south. It's up to 44 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 80% right now. We will see a few more clouds today than what we've been enjoying over the past couple of days. I know it's been beautiful and bright and so very sunny. That won't necessarily be the case. As the clouds build up, there might even be some showers passing through parts of southern Manitoba. But it's snow that's going to be moving across northern Manitoba, the most northern stretch, which has prompted snowfall warnings, 10 to 15 centimeters. That could get pretty heavy at times through the morning, midday, and into the afternoon today. And the winds might be strong as well. So things could be a little bit dicey across the very far north, but here in the south, balmy and beautiful. And great for what a weekend we have ahead. Ainsley McPhail is out this morning. We're going to check in with her now. Hey, Ainsley.
Hi, Terry. Good morning, Manitoba, and everybody visiting for the parade and the Grey Cup festivities. Monica Dirksen joins us now, parade director. It's pretty big this year, Monica. You're returning to some of those pre-COVID numbers. Tell us about what people can expect.
Yeah, it's going to be great this year. We have 70 floats entered, so lots to see. We have lots of block parties, 7 block parties this year. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot happening downtown this weekend. We encourage everyone to come out and have a great time.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to what's in it, lots of local stuff, but with it coinciding with Grey Cup, there's a little bit more.
Yeah, that's right. Grey Cup is our Grand Marshal this year, so they're leading us off. But in addition to that, we also have the cheer teams from all the CFL teams coming, and the alumni cheer team. So they're going to be spread throughout the parade. So lots of good content to take in.
Speaking of spreading through the parade, you want the spectators to do the same. When I say that, what do I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the ends often get a lot of attention, especially this year at the end near the former Bay building. A lot of people will be coming from the Grey Cup Festival at UW, so that's going to be a bit full. Portage and Main's always a popular spot. We encourage people to move towards the center. There might be a better viewing spot than you think if you just keep going a bit towards the center.
Dress warm still. I know we're supposed to have warmer temperatures than other years, but you're going to be standing there for a couple hours. Also, leave early.
Yeah, leave a lot of time. There's a lot of street closures normally for the parade, but even more so because of the Grey Cup Festival. So leave yourself a lot of time, an hour and a half extra than you think you'll need. Bring a hot chocolate, you know, bring your patience, just, you know, enjoy the whole day, spread it out a bit more, and we'll all have a good time. We'll all get where we're going eventually.
Starts with Grey Cup, ends with Santa Claus, and I hear he's got a new ride, kind of.
Not a new ride, but new lighting. Yes, we have upgraded some of the lighting on the float this year. Every year we kind of, you know, do some maintenance, but this year we decided to add a special touch. So there's a bit more lighting on Santa himself, also different lighting on the reindeer. So it's a bit more of a wash rather than a spotlight. So it'll have a nice glow.
I love that. And actually, kids, if you're watching, I'm getting a memo right now in my ear. We may have Santa later on in the show. Yep, I'm hearing that right.
Looking at the early markets, the Dow Jones dropping in early trading. The Nasdaq and S&P index are also trending lower. The loonie is flat, sitting around 71.20 cents U.S. The Hang Seng lost 500 points. The Nikkei index plunged 905 points. Good morning, it is 6:46. While Manitobans are allowed to purchase legal cannabis in licensed shops, some municipalities have banned the stores. Now, a Winnipeg group is trying to change that in some places. CTV's Harrison Shin explains.
Ever since the legalization of recreational cannabis, dispensaries like these are open for business. But some municipalities, like Winkler and Steinbach, prohibit the sale of cannabis products, something Jesse Lavoie wants to change.
This is provincial. They were allowed via the LGCA to hold these votes and to allow the people of these cities and towns to make their decisions for them.
In 2018, a week after cannabis was legalized, both cities overwhelmingly voted no to retail cannabis stores in their boundaries. Steinbach said no with 3,686 over 1,703. Winkler voted 2,112 against and 923 in favor.
We're not throwing shame on the vote in 2018. We're asking to revisit it. There was no real-time data back then on legalization because legalization had just happened.
Lavoie presented his case to Winkler on September 23rd. CTV News reached out to the cities of Winkler and Steinbach. Winkler City Manager Jody Penner sent a statement saying a proposed plebiscite will take place in October if the resolution passes in council. Steinbach pointed to an August 19th council resolution saying a plebiscite motion was denied. So, Lavoie is trying a petition.
We're getting it approved by LGCA, so they need to approve the writing. And from the time you get your first signature, you have 90 days until your last signature. We're going to start it in March, run the 3 months.
Harrison Shin, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg Animal Services is caring for dozens of birds after the agency made a heartbreaking discovery. The agency was alerted regarding a home in which more than 70 birds had been neglected for weeks. On social media, Animal Services says many were already dead from starvation, and those that survived were severely underweight. In total, it now has 43 surviving birds, all of which have been assessed by a veterinarian.
It's heartbreaking to come upon a case like this where there are dozens and dozens of birds, many actively dying as we're examining them, and several cages with deceased birds at their bottoms. It's truly a heartbreaking situation.
Animal Services says its facility isn't set up to care for this many birds, but it is trying to make space. It's asking for gently used bird cages and volunteers to help with daily care. The birds aren't yet ready for adoption. Winnipeg police tell us they were sent to the home for a report of a sudden death, which is not considered suspicious. Russia's first AI-powered robot isn't quite ready for prime time. The robot fell during its debut as it was trying to wave to the crowd. Its developer says the robot can walk, move objects, and communicate, apparently not all at once. Tomorrow's Manitoba Hydro Santa Claus Parade and ongoing Grey Cup festivities will affect how you're able to get around downtown. The parade begins at 5, starting at Portage and Main, making its way along Portage toward an eventual left turn onto southbound Memorial Boulevard. CTV News Winnipeg will live stream the event. In addition to the parade, several block parties will be taking place in downtown Winnipeg Saturday afternoon, starting at 2 p.m. Multiple streets downtown will be closed for the parade and parties. Starting at 11 a.m., Main Street's southbound lanes will be closed between Portage Avenue and York Avenue. At 2 p.m., Portage Avenue will be closed between Main Street and Memorial Boulevard. Memorial Boulevard will be closed north between Portage Avenue and Broadway and south between St. Mary and Broadway. The southbound lanes of Route 62 will also be closed starting at 2 p.m. This year's parade coincides with the 112th Grey Cup here in Winnipeg. Find full details on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The eastbound median and left turn storage lanes are closed on Bison Drive from Waverley to Pembina. The westbound shoulder lane will be closed following the rush. The northbound median lane will also be closing on Henderson Highway between McIntosh and Washington after rush hour. If you have any other traffic tips to share, please text them to us.
It's 5 degrees with south winds gusting to 44 kilometers per hour, pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 80%. I'm still concerned about that robot. I wonder if they can feel the mortification of that all, or if they develop stage fright after an incident like that. How smart are these robots anyway? The AI, right? Anyway, a look across the province and you can see we've got heavier clouds across northern Manitoba, just a few clouds here in the south with those heavier clouds across the north. There's snowfall warnings. It's the most northern border that's going to be affected by that, but 10 to 15 millimeters. You'll have some shoveling to do after today. That bit of precipitation still comes with very mild temperatures. So for some folks that'll be right on the edge of that system, it's possible that you could see a bit of rain-snow mix with plus digits moving up right into most of northern Manitoba. Or if you are below the freezing mark, it's only going to end up a degree or at the freezing mark. And then, yes, very, very mild. Winds will be stronger over in the Pas. That's the icon that you're seeing there. Actually, there will be some stronger winds along with that system, too. Here in the south, I know we've been enjoying so much sunshine. We're not going to be seeing as much today, but the temperatures are going to pretty much double where they were yesterday, pushing up into double digits all throughout southern Manitoba. It's not going to stay this mild. It's going to be a bit of a one-off and then cooling down for the weekend. But even as it cools down, it'll remain above seasonal. There is the possibility of some showers passing through for later on today, and parts of northwestern Ontario may see that as well around the Red Lake area. I mentioned the temperatures cooling down. Well, -2 is normal for this time of year, so it will be looking pretty good overall. Plenty of sunshine coming back for the weekend, and these single-digit temperatures, they're going to be lasting well into next week. So no complaints about the weekend weather, even if it does cool down a little bit from today.
All right, let's check in now on Bo at Bounce 99.9. Good morning, Bo. You have Terry and Rochelle here together this morning because it's an exciting day today.
Oh, it's very exciting. It's a real happy Friday. Let me just say something quick. This is not the exciting part, but you won't see me for a little while on TV. I'm going on Monday for a knee replacement surgery that's been long awaited. So I need it, but they tell me I'm going to be taller after it's all said and done, which is great news for me, but I still won't be as tall as my new co-host. This is the exciting part, and I think you guys might know this lady. Come on in here, Gabby.
They've met me once or twice. Nice to see you, Rochelle and Terry.
Hello.
So exciting to have you back in the Bell family.
Right? I mean, I'm hoping I'll get invited back to a Christmas party with you. So that's the goal here.
They canceled Christmas parties after you came through the station. They couldn't keep up with you, Gabby.
This year, then, I guess.
How exciting.
Well, we're really pumped here. It's going to be Bo and Gabby on Bounce, and I'm going to be off for a little bit, but we're going to get this show rolling December 1st. But we're already having fun here this morning. This lady's easy to have fun with, isn't she?
Oh, yeah. She's a blast. One of the funniest people I think we've ever met.
Yeah, Bo, your life is never going to be the same again. Waking up, I mean, I know it can be a struggle some morning. I promise you, you're going to be looking forward to working every day with that gal. We love you, Gabby.
We have a lot in common, actually, already, right? I'm so excited to be here. Bo and I both love coffee. We love sweets.
Nice.
We love not sleeping in. We love not sleeping, period. So I think it's going to be a great team. And Bo, when he's back from his knee surgery, we're going to take up ballroom dancing or some kind of some form of dance together, right? That's our commitment.
Well, and
That's
now
always a
that
little
he's put
tricky
in
when
all of
you're
that time.
short.
I was going to say, now that he's put in all that time looking after grandkids, you've got a built-in babysitter there too, Gabby.
That's what he told me too. He said that he'd come take care of Alec whenever I need a date night with my husband. So thanks, Bo. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks, Terry. I needed another babysitting job. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, we're going to have some fun. And we're already having fun, as you mentioned. My life has changed for the better. So, Gabby, welcome to Bounce.
Oh, my heart. Your life has changed for the better. Let's hope I live up to that, ladies.
Oh, you will. You will for sure. We're so proud of you and so excited for you. Congratulations, Gabby, and good luck on Monday, Bo.
Thank you very much, guys.
Well, happy to hear your voices again and see your beautiful faces. And happy Grey Cup weekend, you two.
Yeah, you too. Have a good weekend. Well, the weekend circled on every Canadian football fan's calendar is here. Thursday evening marked the official kickoff to the Grey Cup. CTV's Daniel Homerson takes us inside the festivities.
Grey Cup weekend in Winnipeg is here, and die-hard CFL fans are showing up in droves.
Go, Riders, go!
While the big game between Saskatchewan and Montreal goes Sunday, there's plenty happening beforehand.
To be able to now invite everybody here, witness our fan base firsthand, and really experience kind of what the Winnipeg CFL market's all about is really special. I'm really excited.
The party starts right at the airport with a group of volunteers putting the friendly in friendly Manitoba, welcoming football fans coming from out of town.
We're feeling just great. Yeah, so for me, it's my 52nd, and Sandy, I guess it's about 30 or 35th Grey Cup game, and the weather's going to be -5, -6, sunny.
The convention center is the place to be for live concerts, team party rooms, and even a chance to catch up with some CFL stars.
See how much fun this actually is, though, to see how much fun that people actually have. You know, I've never seen this side of it. You know, I'm always hyper-focused. Like I said, I've been blessed to be able to play in 5 Grey Cups. Never seen this part of the Grey Cup.
And over at the University of Winnipeg is a free festival with plenty of fun lined up for the whole family.
Go inside and you've got the TELUS CFL fan experience, which is kind of combine-style drills, so you can really test your skills to see if you'd make it in the CFL.
And while some fans have a little more stake in Sunday's championship showdown, they all agree this weekend comes down to a love of the game.
The fact that you can go anywhere and somebody might be rooting for a specific team, but they're all CFL fans.
Just relax and just experience it, because there's a lot going on and everyone's here to have a good time. Doesn't matter what their team colors are.
Daniel Homerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this with your 7 o'clock headlines. Stay with us. It's Friday, November 14th. Today, release outrage. A convicted killer's return sparks fury as leaders call for tougher rules on early release. Plus, national warning, CSIS flags ongoing targeting from foreign states and rising risks involving young Canadians. And Bomber breakout. A rookie returner sweeps major CFL honors, earning rare recognition this season. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It is 7 a.m. Thank you. We're here. We're finally here, and it's a big weekend in our province. Of course, the Santa Claus Parade is happening tomorrow. Grey Cup is happening here on Sunday. We've got a lot going on, but because the Santa Claus Parade is here, it makes me feel like Christmas is officially upon us, and chocolate and Christmas go hand in hand. So we're going to talk about a local or a chocolatier that is partnering up with the Children's Hospital Foundation, all for a great cause to ensure that sick kids get the best care possible. So we're going to tell you about that partnership and how you can support it. But the weather, it's going to be fantastic again.
It already has been fantastic and is about to get even better. We're talking double digits on tap today, starting out at 5 degrees. That is 15 degrees above a seasonal low. -10 would be normal for these early morning temperatures. There's a breeze. You can see our camera shaking again. It's out of the south, 44 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 80%. We will see a few more clouds today than, say, the past couple of days when we've been just enjoying all of that sunshine, needing the sunglasses. It's been so very bright. Well, it might not be as bright with the extra clouds. It's also going to be a little bit dicey with some precipitation moving across northern Manitoba, enough so that Environment Canada has prompted some some snowfall warnings in the area. And you can see it's just the most northern part of the province, but 10 to 15 centimeters is expected in that stretch. Now, it's also going to be very mild, and as a result, some folks on the edge of that might even see a bit of a rain-snow mix, plus digit temperatures expected right up into parts of northern Manitoba. We'll see some clouds building up, the possibility of some scattered precipitation moving across parts of southern Manitoba, maybe some mid to afternoon showers, and then still some showers lingering into the evening time. But after that, it all clears out nicely. Here in the south anyway, northern Manitoba will still deal with some heavier clouds and some scattered precipitation. Not that organized system that's going to dump all the snow today, but still some lingering flurries. Here in the south, we're back to the sunshine. Temperatures will be dropping off after today, but still remaining above seasonal, with -2 being a normal daytime high. Even as we drop off, we'll still be in those single digits, just a couple to 3 degrees above the freezing mark. I love the story that's being told here, thanks to Michael, 10 years old. Folks being chased by a tornado. It's a good thing the cops moved in to catch it. Keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Outrage is brewing over the release of convicted killer Sean Lamb. Lamb was handed a 20-year sentence in 2013 for killing 2 Indigenous women. And after serving 2/3 of that sentence, he's now been granted statutory release, a move that's prompting calls to change the law. CTV's Jeff Keel explains.
Family members of Caroline Sinclair, Lorna Blacksmith, and Tanya Niepenak say they were blindsided by a parole board decision to release convicted killer Sean Lamb.
It's triggering. It just feels like it happened yesterday, and it's unbelievable that it turned out this way.
The 66-year-old pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter for the 2012 killings of Sinclair and Blacksmith. Charges were stayed in relation to Niepenak, who has never been found. In 2013, Lamb was sentenced to 20 years. Court heard he beat Sinclair with an axe handle and weeks later strangled Blacksmith with a TV cord. But now he's been granted statutory release with conditions, which all federal inmates are eligible for under the law after serving 2/3 of their sentence. The parole board said Lamb presents a high imminent risk of violence towards a partner, while a low imminent risk of violence towards others.
I think Indigenous women are really very, very, very scared at this point.
Relatives and Indigenous leaders rallied in Winnipeg calling for change. Some want consecutive sentences mandated for multiple killings. Others want families of victims notified before someone is released. And they want to be part of the release process because they question how Lamb could be let out so soon.
I don't think this man should be walking around free after only 13 years.
The justice system is not providing any justice. They did not share any information.
MKO Grand Chief Garrison Settee was chief of Pimicikamak Cree Nation, where Lorna Blacksmith is from, when she disappeared.
I am outraged that this man is being released into society as if her life did not matter, but also the lives of the other victims.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
CTV News reached out to the Federal Justice Minister's office for comment. We are waiting for a response. Manitoba Premier Wam Kanu said Thursday he was drafting a letter to Prime Minister Carney touching on concerns about preemptive release, parole, and sentencing. Dozens of people rallied Thursday evening after a 10-year-old was hit while using a crosswalk on Osborne Street.
It's huge. It's a hard thing to go through as a parent. It's a nightmare to find out your kid's been hurt. So to have everyone else taking care of the details and putting something like this together means a lot.
The group says the boy was hit November 5th at the intersection of Brandon Avenue. They rallied to show their support for the boy and his family. The boy's mother says he's doing well, saying he has dental surgery scheduled next week. CSIS has issued a warning that China and Russia are still targeting Canada.
Non-Arctic states, including the People's Republic of China, seek to gain a strategic and economic foothold in the region. Russia, an Arctic state with a significant military presence in the region, remains unpredictable and aggressive.
Canada's spy agency says China and Russia want sensitive government, private sector intelligence, and high-tech goods. They are seeking to gain a strategic foothold in the Arctic. CSIS has shared the information with Inuit and territorial governments. The CSIS director also warned about the number of young people being radicalized, many of them online, adding that nearly 1 in 10 of all terrorism investigations in Canada now involve a minor. Researchers have developed the first new type of malaria treatment in 25 years. New drugs are needed because parasites learn to adapt to older treatments. Testing so far shows this drug not only works well against malaria, it is also effective in slowing its spread. The next step is applying for regulatory approval. The CFL Awards were handed out Thursday evening at Club Regent Event Center. Despite the Bombers not making it to this year's Grey Cup, one of their players is taking home a lot of hardware.
And the winner is...
And the CFL's most outstanding rookie is Trey
Vavel.
The 25-year-old rookie kick returner also captured the Special Teams Award. That makes him just the third person to win both in the same season. A full list of the CFL's winners can be found at ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And here's what's happening now in traffic at Portage at Polo Park. Looks like things are moving well here. No issues to tell you about, but look at that gorgeous sky. It's a beautiful way to start your Friday morning. If you see problems out on the streets, please let us know.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Canada and India have agreed to enhance partnerships in critical minerals, clean energy, aerospace, and agriculture. The development came during Canadian Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu's visit to India this month. Now, during the visit, Sidhu held the ministerial dialogue on trade and investment with his Indian counterpart on Thursday. The meeting discussed ways to strengthen bilateral trade, promote investments, and deepen cooperation. Both sides noted that bilateral trade in goods and services reached $23.66 billion in 2024. Now, the agreement is another sign relations between the two countries are improving after Ottawa accused Delhi in 2023 of being involved in the murder of a Sikh activist in Canada. A long-troubled fleet of Coast Guard patrol ships that the Canadian government paid hundreds of millions to build will be pulled from service sooner than expected. An internal document is showing this, according to the National Post. The 8 midshore vessels were supposed to last 25 years, but have only been in service for about 13. It comes as the civilian agency braces for more demands under its new surveillance mandate from Prime Minister Mark Carney, who announced in June that it would be folded into the National Defence Department. And workers are threatening to seize the car plant in Ingersoll, Ontario, and push GM Canada into a legal battle if the automaker tries to remove machinery from the site. Such a move could force GM Canada to seek legal action to remove the workers, and the union is prepared to fight the company in court. We will occupy the plant until there is a way forward, according to the union. It fears that if GM is allowed to take machinery, the plant could be mothballed. GM announced last month it was pausing production of an electric cargo van assembled at the site, forcing the layoff of more than 1,100 workers. GM Canada says it doesn't plan to remove any equipment from the plant. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. The Santa Claus Parade is happening tomorrow. There's lots to take in throughout the day as well. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yeah, tons of parties, more than last year. I have a feeling that it's going to be exceptionally busy. And lucky for me, who's in the parade with CTV, the Salvation Army, alongside our Colleen Brady. So give me a big wave and a hello if you see us in that parade. But lots to see. Make sure that you leave early. Make sure that you listen to our broadcast and head to our website for some of those delays. But also, Santa's got some upgraded lighting. Jeff McWhinney's joining us, the keeper of the Grey Cup. He's the marshal, and that's how it's all starting. The Bombers are in it as well. So are the CFL cheerleaders and alumni. So lots to see, extremely exciting. And something that I found interesting too, 60% more volunteers. So our community is also really rallying around this.
That's really fun. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop. I love hosting the Santa Claus Parade. We do a live broadcast on our website, and I love it when it's nice and mild outside to enjoy the actual day.
Yeah, not every year have we been so lucky, but this year is going to be one of the better ones for sure. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't need those extra layers on, because here's the thing about the Santa Claus Parade. The sun will have already set. So if you open up your device and you look at the temperatures, for example, and you see, oh, a high of 3, not bad at all. That 3 degrees is expected in the middle of the afternoon with the sunshine. By the time the parade kicks off, it'll be dark and a few degrees cooler. And you're just going to be standing around. So make sure that you're putting those extra layers on so that you're comfortable enough to enjoy the parade in its entirety, because you'll be out there for a couple hours probably. Right now it's 5 degrees, so back to this morning where it's going to be warmer than anything we've experienced yet. Those south winds, they're gusting to 44 kilometers per hour. I'm seeing just a few clouds out here right now. We're still waiting for the sun to rise. That'll be happening at 7:39 this morning, and then we're not going to be seeing as much sunshine today as we've been enjoying over the past couple of days. I know it's been incredibly blue and bright throughout the day with barely a cloud hanging around, but it's a totally different story for today. With those clouds, we may even possibly see some showers passing through. And for northern Manitoba, you've got plenty of snow moving through. That'll be for the most northern stretch, 10 to 15 centimeters.
Thanks, Terry. It's time now for our question of the day. Besides the Grey Cup game and festivities, what is a must-do or see for Winnipeg visitors? You can text your answer along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pal. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break here. It's a gorgeous Friday to start off. We'll be back after this.
Give a child a winter coat. You give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
Good morning. A Winnipeg courtroom was packed Thursday as a fight between Bloodvein First Nation and a federation representing hunters went before a judge. The Manitoba Wildlife Federation's suit claims the First Nation, which is located about 200 kilometers north of Winnipeg, set up an illegal highway blockade, and they say it's preventing licensed hunters from using the Crown land to hunt moose. Court heard Bloodvein First Nation first set up a road check stop at Rice River Road in May to prevent the flow of drugs and alcohol into the nation. However, the Wildlife Federation claims that turned into a blockade later in the summer. It says licensed moose hunters are being turned away, unable to access designated hunting areas. MWF is calling the action unlawful and is asking the court for an injunction to have it removed. Bloodvein wants the motion dismissed. The nation's chief is acknowledging the First Nation does not have the right to keep hunters away.
Just wanting to ensure that our members are safe, wanting to ensure that we're listening to what our members are saying. You have grandmothers, you have mothers, you have grandfathers, you have fathers, and they're all saying that they want to stop the drugs and alcohol that are coming in.
A Manitoba Wildlife Federation advisor says they would welcome a quick decision.
We didn't know if we'd have a decision made today. Looks like the justice is going to provide a decision on November 27th, so we're happy to hear that's coming quickly before the season begins, and it's hard to say which way it's going to go right now.
The province and the Minister of Natural Resources and Indigenous Futures, Ian Bushy, are both listed as co-respondents on the court action. The province's lawyer told court the province is not taking a position on the matter, saying it's the province's view Rice River Road should be accessible to all Manitobans. The court adjourned until Thursday, November 27th. Wildlife researchers in Kenya are celebrating an incredible achievement in the animal kingdom. A critically endangered eastern black rhino calf has been born in the wild. The tiny subgroup of rhinos is trying to repopulate after being nearly wiped out. This little bundle of joy means there's now 9 eastern black rhinos in the region. Here's a look at what's happening on the St. James Bridge. Things look like they're moving well over here. We have no issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see problems, please text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Time now for some entertainment. It's no secret that we love the sport of curling here in Manitoba, so it's appropriate that filming for a TV comedy called Cool Sweepings is now underway in Winnipeg.
And action, please.
Cool Sweepings is billed as the first ever black curling comedy TV series. It's created, directed, and produced by a black-led cast and crew. We're told the series will be delivered by spring of 2026, and it will air on Bell 5 TV. Taylor Swift and Disney Plus are out with a new trailer for an upcoming documentary series about the pop star's record-breaking Eras tour.
I wanted to overserve the fans in terms of the amount of songs they were going to hear and how far I was going to push myself.
The trailer offers a new look at the 6-episode series with behind-the-scenes video from the world tour and Taylor Swift's life as she crisscrossed the globe with her band, dancers, and family members. The End of an Era also features several celebrity cameos, including her fiancé, Travis Kelce. The first episode streamed December 12th. He may have died 16 years ago, but Michael Jackson is still breaking records. The King of Pop is back on the charts thanks to this song. Billboard reports Jackson's Thriller returned to the top 10 of the Hot 100 singles charts this week. He is now the first artist to reach the top 10 in 6 different decades. Cool. Kickstart your weekend with some great entertainment, beginning with Celebrity Wheel of Fortune at 7. Special Forces World's Toughest Test is on at 8. Boston Blue is next at 9. And at 10, it's Happy's Place. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
What an interesting time for Thriller to peak again.
Well,
I would have expected it around Halloween.
Well, exactly.
But we're a couple weeks off of that now.
He's still really getting those hits out there, and he's been gone for so long already. It's wild.
I just recently saw, again, the touring MJ the Musical show that came through town.
How was that?
Oh, it is one of the better musicals that I've seen, and I was a little bit skeptical going in. Not that I don't love Michael Jackson music, but I just didn't know what to expect, and I was blown away. So
I need to check it out for sure.
Well, I think you missed your chance.
I know. I did.
It's gone now.
Come back.
Anyway, we have not missed our chance to check out this sky. Oh my goodness. You know, this is one of the things that I say, clouds do make for a more dramatic sunrise. This is so stunning because the last couple of days it's looked incredible, but I feel like this is even more beautiful yet as we look through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Yes, and it is because we've got a few extra clouds out there just to add to those colors and the dimensions of the sky. The temperatures themselves were well above seasonal. Nowhere as warm as the Morden Winkler area, though, who's at 10 degrees already, double digits. That's 20 degrees above seasonal, with minus 10 being a normal low temperature for this time of year. Most of us are in the plus digits, as high as 8 degrees in Dauphin, although that doesn't look as impressive as double digits right now. However, Brandon is a little bit cooler yet, minus 3 to kick off the morning. Slightly clearer over in that southwestern part of the province. And cloudier across northern Manitoba with the threat of snow and a walloping of snow. In fact, along this most northern border, you can expect 10 to 15 centimeters of snow to fall. Some places where it's closer to the freezing mark might see it in mixed form, but that's where the snowfall warnings are in place, according to Environment Canada. Heavier clouds across the north, but we too will see these clouds building up throughout the day today and possibly even bringing a shower. But the temperatures, they'll be so agreeable. 6 degrees as kids get settled into the classroom, 11 degrees by lunchtime, and by the time kids are coming home, 12 degrees expected. Now, it will cool down for the weekend, but it's also going to clear out for the weekend. Sunshine returning, it'll look brighter and still in those low plus digits. The clear sky made for this stunning aurora borealis the other night. This picture taken in Fisher Branch. Thanks to Ray for sending this one in to us, and keep the photos coming to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thank you, Terry. You can expect a lot of hockey fights across the NHL this month, and it's all for a good cause. Hockey Fights Cancer is an initiative across the league to support cancer patients and their families. And as CTV's John Hendricks shows you, the Winnipeg Jets are raising money and awareness for the Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation.
9-year-old Noah is having a whale of a time painting this whale.
It still looks amazing. It's better than I thought it would be.
He's very proud of the results. And mom, Emmeline Salvador, is very proud of the artist.
He's a fun-loving, outdoorsy, artistic child.
A positive spirit he shows every day, even though he's fighting a very scary battle against leukemia. He was diagnosed in September of 2024 and has been getting treatment and care from Cancer Care Manitoba.
The doctors, the oncologists, the nurses, you're surrounded by people who've been there, who've fought it, and are angels.
Now Noah and Cancer Care are getting an assist from the Winnipeg Jets.
Tonight,
we honor the bravery and resiliency of those battling cancer.
November is Hockey Fights Cancer Month in the National Hockey League. Each year, the Winnipeg Jets raise money and awareness for Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation.
All the funds raised through this campaign are really important to pediatric cancer research and making sure that the latest treatments are available for these young people.
And that's where Noah's Whale comes in. He's working on it alongside Haley Comrie, the wife of Jets goaltender Eric Comrie, whose own artistic effort will be auctioned off to support the cause.
I did this last year and I had so much fun with all the kids. It's a great time. And I also love art projects. I have 2 little ones at home. And also I think this is such a special cause.
A cause close to the Salvador family's heart. John Hendricks, CTV News, Winnipeg.
You'll be able to bid on the items created by the Jets' wives and girlfriends. Along with other items, they'll be auctioned off at the Winnipeg Jets Hockey Fights Cancer Night on November 23rd. At that time, Noah and the other pediatric cancer patients will be there for the ceremonial puck drop. This rink in Nova Scotia welcomes skaters of all abilities.
When they call it Lily's Dream, this is a dream because it does more. It does as much for us as it does for the kids.
Special equipment was brought in to help kids take a few laps around the ice. The program was started by Jim McCormack, inspired by a book he wrote called Lily's Dream. It's about a young girl who dreams about giving every child an opportunity to skate. The Lily's Dream Society has raised more than $20,000. All right, coming up, making kids' wishes, dreams come true this weekend when Santa Claus comes to town. The Santa Claus Parade is back. Ainsley Mayfield has all the details. The Santa Claus Parade is happening tomorrow, and there's a lot of new things that are happening there as well. Ainsley, you're going to tell us more.
I love being able to tell you guys about the new things, like 60% more volunteers, new lights on Santa's sleigh. How great is that? By the way, we're going to have a little chat with him later on. A little elf told me. Monica Dirksen joins us now. She's the parade director. What else is new, Monica?
This year we're launching our first and will be annual Ho Ho 50/50. So we're very excited to have this new initiative. We hope everyone participates. It's on our website live already, and we will have elves walk in the street on Saturday to promote that as well.
Do we know where it's at currently or the ballpark?
It's about $9,300 this morning. Okay. So before parade day even starts, we've got a good start on that.
You want people to get ahead of that, but something else you want them to think about is before they leave. What are some things they should keep in mind?
I think planning out your day a bit, making sure you've got lots of time to get where you're going. We've got a lot of block parties you can come to ahead of time. We've even got a pre-block party this year at Hargrave Street Market. So starting at 2:30, there's something to do. Our street closures start at 2 or 2:30. So if you want to come before it gets really crazy, I would say come early, maybe have lunch, and enjoy your day downtown. And then after the parade, there's also things to do. So if you're not in a rush to get home and you don't want to get stuck in traffic, find something else to do around downtown and yeah, make a day of it.
I keep mentioning the 60% more volunteers because I think it's just such a great stat. Who are these people and what are some of their various roles?
Yeah, we have a lot of returning volunteers, a lot of new volunteers. We have more this year because we anticipate a bigger crowd, so it's always nice to have a few more people helping us keep everyone safe. The biggest chunk of our volunteers are no feet on the street volunteers, so they are there to make sure people are staying up on the curb, staying out of the way of traffic, and that's so everyone's safe. We also have other volunteers helping line up the floats ahead of time, and then at the end making sure they get away safely. There's a lot of people involved in making this happen.
And 70 different floats. The CTV one's the best one, right? With Salvation Army?
I mean, it's up there. I would say it was better than Santa's.
She's like, I don't want to even talk to you anymore. Okay. We are going to have a look at the Grey Cup at 7:42. Head to a link on our website for more details about this awesome parade.
That'll be so neat to see. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. And it's going to be a beautiful day to be outside and enjoy the Santa Claus Parade tomorrow.
It really is, yes, so pleasant and warmer than you might expect for a typical mid-November day. Today will certainly be warmer than you would expect. We're sitting at 4 degrees right now. You can see that gorgeous sky. The winds, they're out of the south. 46 kilometers per hour is what they're gusting to right now. With the pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 82%. You can see the extra clouds this morning, more so than perhaps we've seen over the past few days. Most of this week has been incredibly sunny and mild. Well, today will be even milder yet wet, just not as sunny. And in fact, it's more likely to be snowy across much of northern Manitoba, with snowfall warnings in place across the most northern stretch. 10 to 15 centimeters is what you can expect to fall throughout the morning and into the afternoon today. Here in the south, anything that falls will be in liquid form. There is the possibility of some showers, though, as we head to a high of 12 degrees. 12 degrees, that is well above normal. I mean, we've been above seasonal all week long, but I mean, today, double digits on tap. Now, -2, where we'll fall to overnight, that would actually be a normal daytime high. A seasonal low would be around -10. So just to give you a reference point of how mild it is. And then tomorrow, we're still going to be up into those plus digits with plenty of sunshine as the clouds clear out. Winds will still be out of the west at about 40 clicks, so still a bit of a breeze, but these plus digit temperatures will remain quite pleasant and stick around well through the end of next week. But I've been saying for both the game or the parade, you will want to dress in the layers because both of those events will happen after the sun sets and those temperatures will start to cool.
Thanks, Terry. Some municipalities have banned the licensed cannabis stores, and a Winnipeg group is trying to change that in some places.
This is provincial. They were allowed via the LGCA to hold these votes and to allow the people of these cities and towns to make their decisions for them.
While recreational cannabis is legalized, some municipalities like Winkler and Steinbach voted overwhelmingly in 2018 to prohibit the sale of cannabis products. Jesse Lavoie wants to change that, presenting his case to Winkler on September 23rd. Winkler's city manager sent CTV a statement saying a proposed plebiscite will take place in October if the resolution passes in council. Steinbach pointed to an August 19th council resolution saying a plebiscite motion was denied. So Lavoie is trying a petition.
We're getting it approved by LGCA, so they need to approve the writing. And from the time you get your first signature, you have 90 days until your last signature. We're going to start it in March, run the 3 months.
Lavoie says the 3-month petition period will begin in March and will require a collection of 3,000 signatures. Swedish company Saab says it could bring 10,000 jobs to our country.
It's important for Canada to have sovereign capability in Canada to do their own upgrades, to build parts of it, to do final assembly and tests. We, as Saab, we are prepared to do that technology transfer to Canada.
Saab is the maker of the Gripen fighter jet. Its CEO says there have been talks with Ottawa about manufacturing the jet here in Canada. But that's only if Canada adds the Gripen to its military fleet. Ottawa has signed on to buy as many as 88 F-35s from the U.S., but that deal is under review right now. No decision has been made yet on whether to stick to that deal or go with a dual fleet that includes the Gripen. At least 4 people are dead after a wave of Russian strikes across Kyiv. The attacks hit an apartment block in the eastern part of the Ukrainian capital. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky condemned the attacks as vile and calculated, adding about 430 drones and 18 missiles have been launched, with dozens of high-rise buildings damaged. Several other regions were targeted as well, including at a market in the south that killed 2 other people. Quebec now appears to be extending a bit of an olive branch to doctors upset over Bill 2, with the health minister saying parts of it won't be enforced.
We heard a lot that was bothering them a lot, those clauses. So we've been listening, and as a sign of commitment, we're showing that.
Quebec Health Minister Christian Dubé is now promising not to enforce part of the law regarding the use of inspectors to track a physician's performance. It's another effort to get doctors to meet with the government to negotiate. But the Federation of Medical Specialists says it doesn't want to talk about the application of the law because they say the entire thing should be scrapped. And the Federation of Medical Specialists of Quebec has reiterated that it wants the government to suspend Bill 2 before resuming negotiations. The Winnipeg Jets were back in action Thursday, coming off that 5-3 win against the Canucks Tuesday. And they were looking for revenge when they visited the Seattle Kraken, who shut out the Jets during their last meeting.
Behind the play. Here's Niederreiter to DeMello. Set up and centering pass. They score! Terrific passing.
Scoring for the Jets on this night were Mark Scheifele, Alex Iafallo, and Kyle Connor. But those 3 goals were not enough to win this one. Seattle broke a 3-3 tie at 7:21 in the third. 3rd, and the Kraken added an empty netter for a 5-3 Kraken win. The Jets dropped to 1-4 so far on this road trip. Winnipeg plays its last road game of its west stretch Saturday night in Calgary. Puck drop against the Flames is happening at 9 p.m. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. The eastbound median and left turn storage lanes are closed on Bison Drive from Waverly to Pembina. The westbound shoulder lane will be closed following the rush. The northbound median lane will also be closing on Henderson Highway between McIntosh and Washington after rush hour. If you have any other traffic tips, please text them to us. Here's a look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.36. The provincial average is lower at $1.30. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.28, and the lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.18. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Right now it is 4 degrees. Look at that beautiful sky. We'll be back after this with more Your Morning Winnipeg.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Magical sights and sounds are coming to downtown Winnipeg. It's time for the Manitoba Hydro Santa Claus Parade. Stream it live November 15th at 5 p.m. on ctvwinnipeg.ca. Brought to you by Manitoba Hydro.
Beautiful start to your morning. Look at that sky, how stunning it is. It's 4 degrees outside right now with south winds gusting to 46 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 82%. It's not going to be as sunny as it's been for the past couple of days, but we're going to double those temperatures. I know it's been balmy all week long, but today even warmer yet as we push up into the double digits. That'll be the case pretty much all across southern Manitoba, but you can see we've got a few more clouds than what we've been seeing lately, and more than clouds, precipitation doesn't read on the satellite image, but there is going to be some snow, enough so that Environment Canada has gone ahead and issued snowfall warnings to the areas lit up in blue, so really mostly along that most northern border, but other folks still could see some snow, maybe just not the 10 to 15 centimeters that's expected to fall in that very blue zone. Other places might see just some scattered flurries or even a bit of mixed precipitation, because taking a look at these temperatures, and you can see how mild it's going to be, plus digits expected right up into northern Manitoba. So yes, expect some precipitation, and honestly, it could come with some strong winds, and they're even warning of some possible power outages along with this system. It's going to be that heavy, wet snow. So just all things to keep in mind across the north. Here in the south, I mentioned double digits, well above seasonal normals for this time of year would be about -2. And we're not only going to be in the plus digits, but into the double digits today, with the possibility of some scattered showers passing through later on into the afternoon and into the evening as well. Even further to the east of us, very mild throughout much of northwestern Ontario. Now, it will cool down after today, but the sky will clear. We're going to see sunshine returning, and that cool down will still keep us above the freezing mark when -2 is normal for this time of year.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking all about the Santa Claus Parade, which of course is happening tomorrow evening. It's going to be a beautiful night, and there's lots going on that's associated with the Grey Cup. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, it's every time it comes, people go, is it already here? Is it really Santa Claus Parade time? Monica Dirksen joins me now, and block parties, tons of them. I would have thought this would have been CFL related because of all of those additional parties going on, but this is strictly Santa Claus.
Yeah, every year we have a lot of block parties. This year we have 6 or 7, depending on how you count. They stretch from Memorial to Donald, and then we also have the one at True North Square. So it's a lot to do. It's a lot of things ahead of time. Face painting, hot chocolate, games, all kinds of things to keep you active in it if you're coming early to save your spot.
Mm-hmm. And we're at Hydro Place right now, decorated beautifully. I can't wait for Santa Claus to come here and see what you guys have done with the place. But there's Also, great opportunities for businesses too during that time.
Sure, it's a good opportunity to promote what you're all about, to get involved in the community. Manitoba Hydro has been a huge supporter of ours, and so they always do a really wonderful block party. It's very well attended. They also have hot chocolate and cookies available here in the atrium, so just lots to do all day long.
It feels like everything's happening all at once with Grey Cup. What Grey Cup ads will be in the parade?
Yeah, so it's going to start off with the Grey Cup itself. So in a Cadillac convertible, it'll lead off the parade. And then throughout the parade, we have all the CFL cheer teams. So they'll be sprinkled throughout, and then also the cheer alumni team. So lots of exciting additions this year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. It's really a culmination of community. I won't ask you to name all 70 floats, but what are some that come to top of mind?
Yeah, I mean, as always, Manitoba Hydro has their too. They have the Cinderella one, the Candy Carousel. GFL always comes with their big green machine. It's all lit up. Remax has their hot air balloon. So some of the regular favorites, and then we've also got some new ones this year. Sobeys joining us for the first time. So lots to see, lots of excitement, lots of lights and music.
Mm-hmm. And if you can't be there for whatever reason, we will be streaming it live on our show. Myself and Colleen Brady will be on the Salvation Army float, and many of our CTV personalities doing that broadcast. So head to ctvnewswinnipeg.ca.
Thank you, Ainsley. Thursday evening marked the official kickoff to the Grey Cup. CTV's Daniel Homerson takes us inside the festivities.
Grey Cup weekend in Winnipeg is here, and die-hard CFL fans are showing up in droves.
Go, Riders, go!
While the big game between Saskatchewan and Montreal goes Sunday, there's plenty happening beforehand.
To be able to now invite everybody here, witness our fan base firsthand, and really experience kind of what the Winnipeg CFL market's all about is really special and really excited.
The party starts right at the airport with a group of volunteers putting the friendly in friendly Manitoba, welcoming football fans coming from out of town.
We're feeling just great. Yeah, so for me, it's my 52nd, and Sandy, I guess it's about 30 or 35th Grey Cup game, and the weather's going to be -5, -6, sunny.
The convention center's the place to be for live concerts, team party rooms, and even a chance to catch up with some CFL stars.
See how much fun this actually is, though, to see how much fun that people actually have. I've never seen this side of it. I'm always hyper-focused. Like I said, I've been blessed to be able to play in 5 Grey Cups. Never seen this part of the Grey Cup.
And over at the University of Winnipeg is a free festival with plenty of fun lined up for the whole family.
Go inside and you've got the Tele-CFL fan experience, which is kind of combine-style drills, so you can really test your skills to see if you'd make it in the CFL.
And while some fans have a little more stake in Sunday's championship showdown, they all agree this weekend comes down to a love of the game.
The fact that you can go anywhere and somebody might be rooting for a specific team, but they're all CFL fans.
Just relax and just experience it, because there's a lot going on and everyone's here to have a good time. Doesn't matter what their team colors are.
Daniel Homerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Let's see who's celebrating a milestone today. Happy 12th birthday, Cher, from all your family and friends. Happy 79th birthday, Beatrice, from your family and friends in Flin Flon and the North 40 Ranch Gang. Happy 11th birthday, Brooklyn. Love Mom, Dad, Cash, and Jax. Happy birthday, Kaylee. Love from Mom, Dad, Jordan, and Layla. Happy 17th birthday, Jimmy. Love your family. Happy 4th birthday, Quinn. Love Mom, Dad, Liam, Amma, and Papa. Happy 9th birthday, Adriano. Love from your family. Happy 7th birthday, Shannon. Love from Mom, Angel, Wilson, James, Sierra, your cuckoos, and papas. Happy birthday, Marge. Your family wishes you the best day. Happy birthday, Ollie, from Mitch, Dennis, Melanie, Ginger, and family and friends. Happy 10th birthday, Maya. Love your family. Happy 5th birthday, Wyatt. Love from Grandma Judy and Uncle Jeff. Happy 26th birthday to Russell, with love from your parents and the rest of your family. Happy 9th birthday, Denisha. Love from Coco, Debbie, Papa, Chris, and your brothers and sisters. Happy 24th birthday, Savannah. Love all your family. Happy 106th birthday to Joanna, with love and best wishes from family and friends. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
All right, 12 degrees. That's what we're looking for a high temperature today, when normals would be around -2. Now, it was mild last year. We got to 5.8, almost 6 degrees, but even that 12 degrees today won't come anywhere near the record. Back in 1939, it got up to 16 degrees. Now, of course, that's a whole lot better than the -26 that it was in 1939. Whew, that'd be chilly for sure. Anyway, we're on the luckier side of those extremes, and it's going to be beautiful today. A little bit of a breeze that we're dealing with. Those winds out of the south right now, they're gusting to 46 kilometers per hour, but +4. That's where we're sitting right now, well above normal lows. Normal lows would be about -10, so we've been almost 15 degrees above that all morning long. Pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 82%. Now, there are a few more clouds than what we've seen over the past couple of days. I can still enjoy a bit of blue sky, but we're also going to still see these clouds stacking up throughout the day and possibly bringing some showers throughout parts of southern Manitoba. Now, it's going to be snow across northern Manitoba, and plenty of it. Environment Canada has issued snowfall warnings in the most northern stretch of the province, warning of 10 to 15 centimeters that could fall over the course of the day today. So that'll be a walloping for northern Manitoba. Here in the south, yes, just some passing showers, and then clearing out for the weekend. We're going to see the sunshine back for tomorrow. The temperatures will be dropping off, but still remaining above seasonal. It's not going to be double digits, but low single digits expected for the weekend and well into the middle of next week.
Chocolate can stimulate our senses with its smell, its texture, and its flavor, bringing forth feelings of happiness and pleasure. And buying a chocolate bar right now can also help make a sick kid feel better. It's all part of a partnership between Purdy's Chocolatier and the Children's Hospital Foundation of Manitoba. It's a holiday tradition where if you buy a Dear Santa bar from Purdy's, a portion of the funds go to support kids receiving life-saving care. Joining us now is Andrew Ferris from the Children's Hospital Foundation of Manitoba. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Now, chocolate and Christmas, obviously they go hand in hand.
Goes hand in hand, of course, yeah.
It's almost expected at this time of year,
I would say so,
right?
absolutely, yeah.
So how did this partnership begin? Well, first of all, let's just start off, like, how did Purdy's even get involved with this whole project?
Yeah, absolutely. So back in 2019, Purdy's Chocolatier kind of created this this charity campaign, really around the fact that a lot of kids during holidays and during Christmas that are staying in the hospital actually have a fear that Santa would not be able to find them in the hospital. So with that basis, they created this this campaign 7 years ago, just really to raise funds for these kids and be a voice for them.
So that was 7 years ago, but
yeah.
We got on board about 5 years
5 years ago, correct, yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about how the program works exactly.
Yeah, so every time somebody purchases a Dear Santa chocolate bar from a Purdy's Chocolatier location or online, $2 from every chocolate bar gets donated to our hospital here and hospitals across Canada, depending on where you are. And then through the money that we get, we're able to fund some incredibly crucial things like vital equipment, programming, research at our hospitals. So just a great program.
And this partnership since 5 years ago that you've taken part, how much money has been raised?
So just under $30,000. So this is real tangible money going to kids in our province and kids across Canada who need our help the most. So it's truly incredible.
So describe the bar a little bit. Is it milk chocolate? What?
So there's some milk chocolate, there's some toffee in there. I'm not gonna lie, I had one last night. I had to test the product, and it was delicious. So.
It's a great stocking stuffer. If you look at it, it's a perfect size. It'll last you a little while, hopefully, or not.
Yeah.
Tell us how people can support this and why it's important for them to think about
For
this.
sure. So they can go to their local Purdy's. So in Winnipeg, we have 2. We have one at Polo Park Mall and one at St. Vital Mall, and they can also buy it online at their website as well. And you know, through the money raised through Purdy's Chocolatier this year, it's actually going towards at our local hospital their CK5 unit renovation. So we are actually doing a complete renovation of all of our inpatient units, but we're starting with our cancer ward and blood disorder ward. Okay. So we're redoing 15 rooms, doing a complete overhaul of the rooms, so brand new medical equipment, totally new, wonderful art installments within our rooms, kind of really creating a wonderful comfort space for these kids. And, you know, of course, we're doing a brand new nursing station there as well, and just really creating a wonderful space for kids in our province who have, you know, cancer and blood disorders. So every chocolate bar, every $2 raised from each bar goes towards that. So it's such a worthwhile project, and it's really, you know, having that tangible impact is truly incredible.
And I mean, obviously, firsthand, those families that are spending Christmas in the hospital, knowing that this campaign is happening, you know, what sort of response are you getting from family members? Yeah,
I mean, you know, it's obviously hard for a kid to be in the hospital during the holidays, but, you know, I think it's equally as hard for the parents to have to be there with their kid as well. It's really, you know, it can be a traumatic experience for the whole family. So, you know, every little bit counts. Being able to divert funds through this campaign to help kids and their families that are in the hospital during Christmas is truly something special. So we're just so thankful for Purdy's for taking part of this campaign, and of course the community for supporting it as well.
And the chocolate, I mean, it's undeniable. It's delicious. You admitted you had
I did,
yesterday.
Of course, yeah.
What do you want people to think about as we head into the holiday season right now?
You know, I think it's just really important to consider that, you know, obviously the holidays are a great, wonderful time, but there are still kids in the hospital. You know, doesn't matter if it's the holidays, kids need our care no matter what. So I really just want the community to always keep in mind that there's kids fighting in the hospital walls, and to really support the children who need our help the most.
And the bar is called Dear Santa Bar. So if you want more information, we do have a link on our website. You say it's delicious.
It is. I can vouch for it.
You. I'm going to have to test it a little later. Thank you so much for doing this with us.
You got it.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we head to European World Cup qualifiers where France was facing Ukraine. 41st minute, Bradley Barcola curls one on net. And Anatoly Trubin gets his fingertips on it to push it off the post, just getting enough of the ball to make the save at full extension. Very nice save earns Trubin the must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up this Sunday on both CTV and TSN, it is the 112th Grey Cup. It's the Saskatchewan Roughriders taking on the Montreal Alouettes. Our countdown to kickoff goes Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
All right, here's a look at what's happening on Notre Dame Avenue. It looks like things are starting off really well this Friday morning drive. We'll be back after this short break with your 8 o'clock headlines. It's Friday, November 14th. Outrage over release. Why family and First Nations leaders say letting a convicted killer out early reveals dangerous flaws in the justice system. Cyclist rally in Fort Rouge. A neighborhood gathers to show support for the young victim of a vehicle-pedestrian crash. And this swift seal narrowly escapes a pod of hungry orcas to the delight of a boatload of photographers in waters off Washington State. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It is 8 a.m. Thank you so much for being with us. Yesterday,
a good Friday.
It is a good Friday. There's so much going on in our city. It's exciting. Yesterday, Terry, I rolled up my sleeve and donated some blood for the Canadian Blood Services.
I saw the picture on your Instagram.
And it's so quick. It's so easy. You get some snacks. We're going to talk about the Hero in You campaign. It continues on. Marilee Caruso will have another story, a touching story about someone who benefits, of course, from a blood donation. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. But the weather this weekend, a lot of people will be spending time outdoors this weekend.
Yes, even on my way into work this morning, I saw all the cutouts where you can get your picture taken if you're downtown this weekend, right? And a lot of people will be downtown. They'll be coming down for the parade. Of course, Santa's coming to town. The Grey Cup is in town. Lots of things that people are going to be taking in outdoors. And outdoors, it's gorgeous, at least for today, although it will be pleasant all weekend long. Right now, it's 4 degrees with winds out of the south gusting to 46 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 82%. It's not going to be as sunny as it's been the past couple of days. We've got some heavier clouds, and you can see them showing up here on the satellite image. Even cloudier yet across northern Manitoba with precipitation that doesn't read on our satellite image, but you can expect some snow in that most northern stretch, and plenty of it. Snowfall warnings issued by Environment Canada, warning of 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. The bulk of it anyway, will be falling throughout the day today, all across that most northern stretch. You might still see a little bit lingering into tomorrow as well. Now, here in the south, we could also see some precipitation passing through in liquid form, because these temperatures, they're going to be soaring today. As mild as it's been, even warmer yet for today. I'm talking double digits, but that chance of precipitation takes us right into the evening time. Clearing through central Manitoba, northern Manitoba, expect to still see some heavier clouds and some scattered precipitation flurries perhaps throughout the weekend itself. Here in the south, it clears out nicely for the weekend, and with all of that sunshine, it's not going to be as warm as today will be, but it's still going to be above seasonal and pleasant for all of your weekend fun. Now, keeping in mind that these 3 degrees that we're expecting Saturday, Sunday are the daytime highs, and by the time you might be headed to the parade or the Grey Cup, sun will have set, and that will be a couple of degrees cooler. So still throw those layers on. You'll want to be comfortable for those outdoor activities. And I love the story being told here thanks to Michael, 10-year-old. So creative, Michael. Thank you for sharing your picture. And keep the art coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Outrage is brewing over the release of convicted killer Sean Lamb. After serving 2/3 of a 20-year sentence for killing 2 Indigenous women, Lamb has been granted statutory release.
It's triggering. It just feels like it happened yesterday. And it's unbelievable that it turned out this way.
Family members of Carolyn Sinclair, Lorna Blacksmith, and Tanya Nepanak say they were blindsided by the parole board decision. Sean Lamb pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter for the 2012 killings of Sinclair and Blacksmith. Charges were stayed in relation to Nepanak, who has never been found. In 2013, Lamb was sentenced to 20 years, but now he's been granted statutory release with conditions, which all federal inmates are eligible for under the law after serving 2/3 of their sentence.
I am outraged that this man is being released into society as if her life did not matter, but also the lives of the other victims.
MKO Grand Chief Garrison Setia was chief of Pimicikamak Cree Nation, where Lorna Blacksmith is from, when she disappeared. CTV News reached out to the Federal Justice Minister's office for comment. We are waiting for a response. Premier Wab Kinew says he's drafting a letter to Prime Minister Carney touching on concerns about preemptive release, parole, and sentencing. Dozens of people rallied Thursday evening after a 10-year-old was hit while using a crosswalk on Osborne Street.
It's huge. It's a hard thing to go through as a parent. It's a nightmare to find out your kid's been hurt. So to have everyone else taking care of the details and putting something like this together means a lot.
The group says the boy was hit November 5th at the intersection of Brandon Avenue. They rallied to show their support for the boy and his family. The boy's mother says he's doing well, saying he has dental surgery scheduled next week. CSIS is warning that China and Russia have significant interests in the Arctic and are spying on governments and businesses developing the vast region's potential.
Non-Arctic states, including the People's Republic of China, seek to gain a strategic and economic foothold in the region. Russia, an Arctic state with a significant military presence in the region, remains unpredictable and aggressive.
Canada's spy agency says China and Russia want sensitive government, private sector intelligence, and high-tech goods. CSIS has shared the information with Inuit and territorial governments. This harbor seal has made the escape of the century.
Oh my God. Oh, you poor thing. I'm shaking right now. He is on board. He is not trying to get on board. He is on our boat. You're good. Just stay, buddy.
This was off an island in Washington State earlier this month. A group of photographers was watching orcas when they seemingly decided it was time for a seal snack. The seals sought safety by jumping on the boat. After between 15 and 20 minutes, the orcas left. Shortly afterward, the seal jumped back in the water. Here's a look at what's happening now on Donald Street. Things are picking up here, as you can see, and overall moving quite well in this area. If you see any problems out there, please let us know. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We've been talking about the Santa Claus parade. Are you talking to Santa right now? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah. Rochelle, he's got some people, so it's the Wi-Fi in the North Pole is a little shoddy.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But he is, I am hearing, thank you, Elf. Yeah, I am hearing he's on his way and he's pretty close. Wow, you were, Santa Claus?
Merry Christmas.
You were here immediately. How did you do that?
It's magic.
That's
incredible. Believe in Santa. It's magic.
Well, I believe in this beard right now. How can I touch it?
You certainly can.
Okay, and how did you get it so fluffy?
It's just natural curls.
I'm very, very impressed. And you're going to be coming to the parade as well.
That's right. Looking forward to being here tomorrow for the parade, the Grey Cup parade.
Yes, and I hear that you have some new lights.
I do. I'm looking forward to seeing them on the float tomorrow. Mm-hmm. They did a really good job.
Mm-hmm. Are you worried that AI is going to take over your job?
Never. No, never.
Are the reindeer unionized?
No, they're not. They're free-spirited.
Do you have a favorite one?
Rudolph, of course.
Okay, I'm going to tell them. The kids in Brandon and the kids in Winnipeg, which are naughty, which ones are nicer between the two?
That's a tough one. I think probably Brandon.
Okay, all right. Well, Neepawa is going to be really upset that you didn't even mention them.
Neepawa's a nice town, too.
Santa Claus, thank you so much. Any final words before we go?
Wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and looking forward to seeing them all at the parade tomorrow.
Oh, we can't wait to see you too, Santa. Thank you for joining us on Your Morning Winnipeg. Well, whether you can solve it on your own in seconds or need a little help, the Rubik's Cube has been challenging people for 5 decades. Taylor Epps introduces us now to one cuber who has picked up the challenge once more after putting down the cube years ago.
Set the timer and go. Members of the Buffalo Speed Cube Club are solving puzzles that are 3x3, 4x4, and whatever this is. They can even do it blindfolded. Blink and you'll miss it, because these speed cubers are quick.
It's 14 seconds.
9 seconds. 8.81 seconds.
7 seconds. And Indo Song is only 8 years old.
The median age for club members is like 9.
Owen Lewicki is 13.
Yeah, I can.
He's the club's cube master.
It's really cool to see it like starting to grow more. I'm normally the oldest, but I brought in some like older kids to come.
And how old are you?
Yeah.
13.
I'm a current junior.
Remind me how old you are?
94.
Yep, you heard that right. 94 years old. Not exactly what Owen was expecting.
Like I thought he was like a grandparent. Like he brought a cuber, but he was a cuber himself, and I just thought that was really, really cool.
The kids, they have a new method now than I do. So I wanted to find out what they're doing.
So Frank Zeminski joined the club here at the Orchard Park Library, bringing back an old hobby of his from the 1970s.
I hadn't used the cube for many years, and I couldn't remember the stuff, but I had it all here.
His own cheat sheet that he made to help him solve it quickly.
It was slow. When I was 50 years old, 2 minutes I could do it. I don't think I can do it in 2 minutes, but I think I can do it in 5.
And if he can solve it in under 5 minutes at a competition in January, he'll be a world record holder. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, that'd be cool, yeah.
Being able to learn and to solve Rubik's Cubes and to compete at the age of 94 is truly inspirational.
That's amazing. He taught himself.
And over the past few months, Frank and the rest of the cubing crew have built a close-knit community.
Because it's not common for you to find people that like Rubik's Cubes. And people will
I put them together,
say stuff about it. So you just gotta like keep your head up and you find people like this that are nice.
Some of the best friends I've ever had in my life have come from cubing. Some of the best moments I've ever had.
It's a lot of fun to be with these kids, yeah.
And you're a role model for them.
Well, I appreciate that, yeah. It gives you a nice feeling, yeah.
All right, we're looking now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. It is beautiful out there. The sky this morning was so stunning. I know the last couple of days it's been stunning and so very clear. This morning, those extra clouds, they made for the most spectacular sunrise. Of course, now that the sun has climbed a little higher in the sky, it's just going to look a little more overcast, especially as the day goes on and we continue to watch these clouds building. Temperature-wise, though, we're well above seasonal. Normal lows would be about about -10. We're sitting at 4 degrees right now in Winnipeg with +10 over in Dauphin. Morden Winkler was at +10 last hour. You've dropped off to 9 degrees, but still well above normal. Even Brandon is starting to warm up a little bit now at -2. It's the only place here through southern Manitoba that isn't in the plus digits this morning. Everybody else, talk about a mild start to the day, and it's only going to get warmer yet. Much of northern Manitoba is in for well above seasonal temperatures. Everybody is, in fact. It's a little bit cooler over in Churchill at -9, but most of you are either in the plus digits or just barely below the freezing mark right now. But there is going to be some snow moving across northern Manitoba with snowfall warnings in place for that most northern border. 10 to 15 centimeters is expected throughout the day today. Nothing like that here in the south. 5 degrees as kids get settled into the classroom, 11 degrees for the lunch hour, and 12 by the time they're coming home. We will see some heavier clouds building up. There's even possibly some showers that we could see rolling through today, so a little bit of precipitation is possible, but double-digit temperatures. Now, the sunshine comes out as it clears through the weekend, but these temperatures will be falling off. However, -2 is a normal daytime high, and even with the cooler temperatures, we're still staying on the plus side of freezing. Taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
When you give a child a winter coat, you give them the means to go to school on a cold day, a chance to play outside, because no child should be freezing cold. Donate to Coats for Kids. Proudly sponsored by United Way Winnipeg and CTV.
Canada and India have agreed to enhance partnerships in critical minerals, clean energy, aerospace, and agriculture. The development came during Canadian Trade Minister Maninder Sidhu's visit to India this month. Now, during the visit, Sidhu held the ministerial dialogue on trade and investment with his Indian counterpart on Thursday. The meeting discussed ways to strengthen bilateral trade, promote investments, and deepen cooperation. Both sides noted that bilateral trade in goods and services reached $23.66 billion in 2024. Now, the agreement is another sign relations between the two countries are improving after Ottawa accused Delhi in 2023 of being involved in the murder of a Sikh activist in Canada. A long-troubled fleet of Coast Guard patrol ships that the Canadian government paid hundreds of millions to build will be pulled from service sooner than expected. An internal document is showing this, according to the National Post. The 8 midshore vessels were supposed to last 25 years, but have only been in service for about 13. It comes as the civilian agency braces for more demands under its new surveillance mandate from Prime Minister Mark Carney, who announced in June that it would be folded into the National Defence Department. And workers are threatening to seize the car plant in Ingersoll, Ontario, and push GM Canada into a legal battle if the automaker tries to remove machinery from the site. Such a move could force GM Canada to seek legal action to remove the workers, and the union is prepared to fight the company in court. We will occupy the plant until there is a way forward, according to the union. It fears that if GM is allowed to take machinery, the plant could be mothballed. GM announced last month it was pausing production of an electric cargo van assembled at the site, forcing the layoff of more than 1,100 workers. GM Canada says it doesn't plan to remove any equipment from the plant. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Motherhood is tough, from the sleepless nights to the moments of doubt to the immense demands, but it also unlocks an inner strength many of us didn't know we had. Chantal Thurston drew on that strength as she fought pancreatic cancer, not once, but twice. A diagnosis that required difficult and painful surgeries, which couldn't be done without blood donations. She's sharing her story as we mark the end of week 2 of this month's Hero in You campaign, in the hopes you will make an appointment to donate blood.
Chantal Thurston loves being a mom. From fierce pride to intense joy, her face shows it all as she watches her 11-year-old son Kyle try his best to score her a goal. Moments she doesn't take for granted.
I was worried that I wouldn't see him learn how to ride a bike or learn how to read. So as we're hitting those milestones now that he's growing up, it's just so fun to be there and watch.
7 years ago, when Kyle was just 2, doctors discovered Chantal had appendix cancer. And in an instant, her dreams of growing her family ended. Chantal now faced multiple rounds of chemo and extensive life-changing surgeries.
They take the spleen, the gallbladder, the appendix, the omentum, and I had a radical hysterectomy as well.
Blood donations kept Chantal alive through all of those surgeries. The recovery was difficult and painful, and not without complications. But Chantel battled through it all, determined to get back to life as a mom.
The sweater because it was cold the first night.
In the years since, Chantel has made it her mission to live life to its fullest, grateful for every moment she's able to share with her son.
Instead of waiting to do things, we do the big trips. We don't wait to do things. We just make sure that we enjoy our lives and spend the time as a family together. That's what's really important to us. We've gone to Disney World a couple times. We do a road trip every summer, so we've done Banff and South Dakota. And this summer we actually drove out to Toronto and stopped along all the stops along the way.
But all that fun and adventure was shattered a year ago when doctors broke the news Chantel's cancer was back. In February, she underwent surgery again to remove it. And this time, Kyle was old enough to be by her side through it all.
He was upset that Mom was away for a little while. He did come to see me in the hospital. He did have trouble when I came home. He was upset. He thought things would have gone back to normal, and it was hard for him to see me just kind of lying around for a little while and being still quite sick.
It's taken some months, but Chantel is thrilled to be back in her usual spot in the stands, reveling in every moment of her son's hockey glory. And if she's learned anything from all of this,
that was the Epcot ride.
It's to make more memories while she can.
We're talking about actually going to England in the springtime. If I'm not here, hopefully my son can remember all these things that we've done together, and as he goes forward in life, and if he hopefully builds a family one day, then he can do the same thing with his family.
Every day, people here in Manitoba undergo major surgeries like Chantel, where blood from donors is needed to help replace the blood lost during the procedure. Just one donation from you this month can help save up to 3 lives. This month, we're asking you to be a hero as part of our Hero in You campaign and book an appointment to donate blood. You can do that online at blood.ca or on the Give Blood app. You can also call 1-888-2-DONATE to make an appointment over the phone. And when you do donate blood, make sure to take a photo in front of the Hero in You sign at Canadian Blood Services and share it with us.
All right, it is a beautiful way to be kicking off the weekend. Honestly, all week long it's been pretty incredible as far as the temperatures go, but today even better yet. It's not as bright. We've been enjoying plenty of sunshine the last several days, and today some heavier clouds are hanging over us this morning. It's 4 degrees right now, and there's still a little bit of a breeze, a wind out of the south up to 43 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 84%. Now, with these clouds, there is the possibility of some scattered precipitation later today in liquid form, because double digits, that's where we're headed today with the temperatures well above seasonal. In fact, we're already above a normal daytime high, sitting at 4 degrees. Just for a reference point, -2. That would be a normal high temperature for mid-November, and a normal low -10. We're obviously well above that. Now, for northern Manitoba, it might still look a little wintry. You've got snow that's going to be moving throughout the day today. 10 to 15 centimeters has prompted Environment Canada to issue snowfall warnings across that most northern stretch. But even there, the temperatures will be mild, and for many folks in northern Manitoba, even cracking the freezing mark and pushing up into the low plus digits. Low plus digits is where we'll be after today. Today, yes, double digits. It will be shockingly mild, but then the temperatures cool down somewhat for the weekend. The sky will clear out too. We're looking at sunny conditions Saturday, Sunday. And it was a clear night when these northern lights were spotted in the Fisher Branch area. One of the parishioners at the church took this picture that Ray sent in to us. And keep the photos coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
Magical sights and sounds are coming to downtown Winnipeg. It's time for the Manitoba Hydro Santa Claus Parade. Stream it live November 15th at 5 p.m. on ctvwinnipeg.ca. Brought to you by Manitoba Hydro.
The 2025 CFL on TSN season comes to a conclusion with the Saskatchewan Roughriders facing the Montreal Alouettes in the 112th Grey Cup. Live from Winnipeg's Princess Auto Stadium this Sunday, November 16th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on TSN and CTV. And joining us now to tell us more about what to expect Sunday is TSN's Bar Down's Luca Celebrate. Good morning, Luca.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, there's a lot of buzz heading into this weekend. Of course, Sunday's Grey Cup. The festival started officially yesterday. Tell us about the vibe as CFL fans are coming into Winnipeg.
I think it's been great so far, and especially being in a city like Winnipeg that loves the CFL, sold out every home game this season for the first time, so that's incredible. And you see a lot of Winnipeg fans here. Obviously, Saskatchewan fans travel well, Montreal fans travel well, but it really is a culmination of the season, and seeing fans from every team here has been a blast. The weather has been great so far, hasn't been too cold or windy, so hopefully that continues into Sunday, and it'll make for an even better game if it does.
What can we expect? What kind of action can we expect to see at the game on Sunday?
It should be a really close one. I think these two teams are evenly matched. They are two of the best teams in the league, and they have two of the best defenses in the league as well. So it's going to be a really physical game from that standpoint. You have Corey Mace, the head coach of the Riders, on one side, who Winnipeg fans know very well. He is a former player. He's won the Grey Cup as a player, as an assistant, as a defensive coordinator. Now he's trying to do it as a head coach in just his second year, and his team has taken on his identity since coming in. He has shifted the culture. On the other side, Jason Moss, a former player in his own right. He's won a couple Grey Cups as a player and as a coach. So the winning pedigree for both of these franchises starts from the coaches and throughout their rosters. I think that makes it an even more intriguing matchup, along with some of the other storylines.
Yeah, and some of the other storylines include the musical guests. We have Manitoba's own singer-songwriter Katie St. Germain opening it up with our national anthem, Canadian alt rockers Our Lady Peace, and then American singer-rapper MGK headlining the halftime show. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think if you're a music fan, you're getting a little bit of everything here with the Canadian content and then MGK coming in. I'm really excited for it all, and MGK specifically at halftime is going to be great. He's done sporting events before. It's rock, it's rap. I think a lot of people, if you haven't heard his music before, you might be surprised and might find yourself vibing to it. And I like MGK's music a lot, so I'm very excited just for the show he's going to put on, because he is a performer and he's done a lot of these events so far in his career, so it's very exciting.
Okay, any predictions you want to share with us?
I know Winnipeg fans might not like to hear it, but I think I'm rolling with Saskatchewan. They just have the healthier team, I guess, as far as the question marks with Davis Alexander and his health. They scare me a little bit. You don't know what you're going to get from him. If he's 100% healthy, then Montreal can easily win this game, but I'm going with the healthier team. I'm going with the veteran experience of Trevor Harris at quarterback, and I'm picking the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Sorry, Winnipeg fans.
I'm going for Montreal, of course. Thank you so much. TSN has full Grey Cup coverage throughout the weekend. Thank you, Luca.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
It's 4 degrees outside right now. We've got winds out of the south. They're a little bit strong and gusty, up to 43 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 84%. It's not as sunny as it's been, but it is going to be twice as mild as it's been. And we've already been dealing with these above seasonal temperatures all week long, and today even warmer yet. Now, sure, we've got some heavier clouds and already seeing a little bit of precipitation just starting. You see these little spots of green showing up. Some places through central Manitoba seeing some showers. Flurries across northern Manitoba, and plenty of them. The temperatures across northern Manitoba will be very mild today, but it could bring some snow, the possibility of some scattered precipitation. Now, 12 degrees is what we're looking at for a high here in Winnipeg, with winds that'll ease somewhat. They're a little bit gusty this morning, but they should taper off to about 20 clicks as they shift out of the west. That chance of showers is there through the afternoon and into the evening time, but 12 degrees, talk about balmy. Now, after this, things will clear out. Today, sure, we've got that chance of showers, but then the sky begins to clear overnight, partly cloudy conditions as we drop down to -2. That is a normal daytime high. A normal low temperature would be -10, so we're still remaining well above seasonal. And tomorrow, it won't be as warm as today, but it'll be 10 times as sunny. With that sunshine headed to a high of 3 degrees into the afternoon, and winds getting a little bit stronger again, up to 40 kilometers per hour. Now, I'll remind you, for those outdoor events, Saturday, Sunday, if you're taking in either parade or the game. It's not going to be 3 degrees by the time those activities take place. So dress for a few degrees cooler. Once that sun sets, we'll have dropped off another couple degrees.
Winnipeg Animal Services is caring for dozens of birds after the agency made a heartbreaking discovery. The agency was alerted regarding a home in which more than 70 birds had been neglected for weeks. On social media, Animal Services says many were already dead from starvation, and those that survived were severely underweight. In total, it now has 43 surviving birds, all of which have been assessed by a veterinarian.
It's heartbreaking to come upon a case like this where there are dozens and dozens of birds, many actively dying as we're examining them, and several cages with deceased birds at their bottoms. It's truly a heartbreaking situation.
Animal Services says its facility isn't set up to care for this many birds, but it is trying to make space. It's asking for gently used bird cages and volunteers to help with daily care. The birds aren't yet ready for adoption. Winnipeg police tell us they were sent to the home for a report of a sudden death, which is not considered suspicious. Manitoba's premier is not ruling out an early election ahead of the scheduled date of October 5th, 2027. Wab Kinew says he was close to calling an early vote very recently when it looked like a bill to detain highly intoxicated people for up to 72 hours might not pass. The bill was voted into law last week after the opposition Conservatives tried but failed to amend it. Kinew says he could see a scenario in which an election is called if he feels the opposition is playing what he calls political games. Kinew told delegates at an NDP convention last weekend that the party is already preparing for the next election and has chosen a campaign manager. Tomorrow's Manitoba Hydro Santa Claus Parade and ongoing Grey Cup festivities will affect how you're able to get around downtown. The parade begins at 5 p.m., leaving from Portage and Main, making its way along Portage before heading south on Memorial Boulevard. CTV News Winnipeg will live stream the event. There are also several block parties planned in downtown Winnipeg starting at 2 Saturday afternoon. And that means several streets will be closed. Starting at 11 a.m., the southbound lanes on Main will be closed between Portage and York. At 2, Portage will close between Main and Memorial. Memorial North will close from Portage to Broadway and south from St. Mary and Broadway. Find full details on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. The reality series Ink Master has returned, featuring 15 tattoo artists from around the world. One of those artists is from Montreal. CTV's Anastasia Dextrin spoke with him about the experience.
He's breaking skin and breaking ground.
This year's theme is hometown heroes, so it's pretty cool to represent Montreal.
Luca Lajoie says his love of tattoos started when he was 12. That's when he watched his older brother get a tattoo.
Seeing all the tattooed guys with art on the walls and portfolio and everything just gave me the little thing I needed to just have this idea in my head forever. And yeah, the second I was 18, I bought a tattoo kit on eBay.
Lajoie began practicing on family friends. He focused on portraits of characters from movies and celebrities, from solo tats of the LA Lakers to full sleeves of Spider-Man. Lajoie is known as an expert in tattoos and color realism.
It's up to you and you alone to put your hometown on the map.
Right. I could never see myself doing a reality show or something like that, but I got the email from Ink Master.
Lajoie was scouted to be one of 15 contestants from around the world on Ink Master Season 17. The show challenges artists as they compete for a $250,000 grand prize. One challenge he faced was going back to basics. Competitors were asked to sketch on a whiteboard.
We had to represent something that represents us and our city. So then I was like, what should I do about Montreal, and all kinds of different ideas in my head. And then I was like, okay, Montreal is a city of squirrels. There's squirrels everywhere.
I love that. You're a realism artist, but you did something totally illustrative. I love the perspective.
There was the squirrel that is like dropping his nuts and represents kind of like the French culture that is slowly fading away because there's more and more English speaking, and not in the bad way, but mostly in the way like there's a rivalry and it's been going on.
Lajoie says his art is about repping his hometown. As for the competition result, he says you'll have to watch and see. Anastasia Dextrine, CTV News.
Let's take a look now what's going on in traffic along Osborne Street. It looks good. Nothing to tell you about in this part of the city. If you see any problems out there, let us know, please. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average stands at $1.36. The provincial average is lower at $1.30. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.28, and the lowest price in the city is $1.18. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
For our question of the day, we wanted to know, besides the Grey Cup game and festivities, what is a must-do or see for Winnipeg visitors? One Your Morning Winnipeg a viewer says, when you're in Winnipeg, you must grab a nip at Salisbury House. Jackie suggests the Human Rights Museum, Royal Aviation Museum, the Leaf, and the Forks. Thank you so much for your responses. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail. We're talking about the Santa Claus Parade, which of course kicks off tomorrow at 5, but there are so many other things happening before then. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. If you didn't catch the Santa Claus interview, head to our website. And I'm still thinking of things I should have asked Santa Claus. What a special guest. You can see him in the parade with some brand new lights. Monica Dirksen joins us once again. People are going to be flooding in, not only for this parade, but the Grey Cup, too. It's a little bit of a merriment.
Yeah, lots going on downtown this weekend, which is fabulous. It also requires a little bit of planning.
Well, speaking of planning, something that people plan ahead for is volunteering, 60% more this year. But there's one volunteer position that fills up rather quickly.
Yeah, we have a very popular spot with the costume walkers. We almost don't even need to advertise it. People return every year. That spot fills up really fast. So they're costume walkers that are spread throughout the parade just to add extra merriment. And our volunteers love those spots.
I love that. 70 floats this year. Tell us about some of the preparation that goes into it, because many of them are quite elaborate.
Yeah, it does take a lot of effort, a lot of lights, a lot of cleaning, a lot of building. Some floats pop up the week of, some get stored year round. So it depends on what you're into, but a lot of them get prepared the week of, and so there's a lot of elves out there building floats.
And day of, I mean, as parade director for you, that must feel quite chaotic. How do you facilitate it all?
With a great team of elves. We have a lot of returning volunteers, both sort of in the senior positions. So I have a lot of help along the route, a lot of help with staging all the floats beforehand, making sure they're in the right order, and then also making sure they get off safely at the end.
Well, I've been part of that experience. From that side of things, quite seamless, and Santa's not too high maintenance. You've got a 50-50, and it is climbing. We checked this morning.
Yes, it is. We're very excited. It's our first annual Ho-Ho 50-50. We hope that everyone participates. We are a not-for-profit, an independent not-for-profit, so we appreciate everything that comes in.
Thank you so much. And CTV News will be streaming. You can catch many of our personalities there. Stationed and checking it all out. So head to a link on our website for more. Myself and Colleen Brady will be on one of the floats.
Thank you, Ainsley, and of course Catherine Dow and myself, we will be hosting the show, so make sure to stay tuned at 5 p.m. and live stream it on our website tomorrow. It's going to be fun.
And the weather's going to be beautiful for that parade. Honestly, you are so lucky, because I know some years you've sat out there freezing.
Oh yes.
That won't be the case this time around. Now, that being said, I still want to remind folks that are headed down to either the parade or maybe the game the next day, that if you're looking at the temperatures and see, ooh, sunny and a high of 3, no. Yes, through the day, but by the time those events are taking place, both the parade and the game, the sun will have already set, and that temperature drops off pretty quickly after the sun does set. So just know it's going to be a little bit cooler. And again, for the parade or the game, you're not moving around very much. You're just kind of standing or sitting in one spot. So a few extra layers will just mean you're more comfortable and able to enjoy yourself a little bit longer. We've got 4 degrees right now. A bit of a breeze as I'm eating my hair. That wind is gusting right now. 46 clicks. It's out of the south. That wind should taper off a little bit later on today. Later on today, we might see some showers. Right now, we're just dealing with some heavier clouds. It's nowhere near as sunny as it's been, but it's going to be twice as mild. Double digits is where we're headed today. And yes, there is that possibility of showers, but more definitely, the chance of snow across northern Manitoba has prompted snowfall warnings from Environment Canada, 10 to 15 centimeters across that most northern stretch. You're going to have to get those shovels out and brace yourself for a bit of a walloping with that snow. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with your Morning Winnipeg.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Calgary is quickly gaining a global reputation for fashion and beauty. That's thanks to two Calgarians who have broken into the industry in a big way. And as CTV's Alicia Fieldberg explains, each makes sure that city and region is woven into their work.
Producing his makeup in the mall where he spent most weekends as a teen is a full circle moment for Hung Van Gogh.
Calgary is home for me. I brought up here and having my own brand that sells Sephora and even carry in my own hometown. It's pretty surreal. I know it sounds silly, I'm crying, but it is emotional for me.
It's a long way from where he started.
My family and I, we escaped Vietnam to refugee camp, and then we came here after.
His career began at a Calgary hair salon before he switched to makeup, becoming coveted by A-listers and now launching his own line across Canada and the United States.
Never dreamed to work with celebrity or have my own brand.
An inspiring story for Calgarians who lined up to meet him.
I've always wanted to be a celebrity makeup artist, so we know it's possible.
Always happy to see a Calgarian make it big.
Another Calgarian making it big in fashion is Awar Odiung. The model was featured in September's U.S. Vogue, along with her family at a photo shoot in Kananaskis.
It is the most difficult publication in the world to get into, so for her to have a single girl story and with her family is unbelievable.
Having Canada being put on the map by Vogue has been so cool, and I'm glad that me and my family as immigrants, as refugees, were able to represent Canada.
Odiung was a toddler when her family came to Canada as refugees from South Sudan in 2002. Years later, she was folding clothes at Old Navy when she was approached to model, and her career has taken off.
I've been able to take care of my family, myself, my friends.
Whether showcasing high fashion in the Canadian Rockies or naming a lipstick after Calgary's area code, both Awar and Hung are proud to have the spotlight on Alberta and hope their stories encourage others.
There's no limitation to your dreams.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
The guests at the Royal Lodge, the Sagana Lodge, will be their Royal Highnesses Princess Elizabeth and Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. No comment! Thanks! Sorry. Which is why you will need the additional training. Comportment lessons.
I will be learning to curtsy?
Among other things, yes.
May I look at that agreement again?
Yes, of course.
The Prairie Theatre Exchange is dishing up a royal treat in its latest production. The play, titled Serving Elizabeth, tells us of a Kenyan restaurant owner catering for a visit from Princess Elizabeth in 1952. The drama explores the effects of colonialism in that country. Joining us now from PTE's latest show are performers Cameron Grant and Bola Ayola. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now tell us a little bit about the characters you play in this story, because you play different characters. Tell us about that.
Well, I play Montague, who's a driver and assistant for the British government in Kenya in 1952. And then the play also takes place in 2015, so I play Stephen, who's an actor auditioning for a story that is telling the story of the visit, a TV show that's telling the story of the visit to Kenya.
Okay, and how about you?
I play Mercy, who is a cook and restaurant owner who is basically gets invited to do a job to cook for the monarchy when they're doing their visit in Kenya. And I also play Patricia, who is a casting director in 2015, who is basically responsible for casting this series.
Okay, so there's two different timelines in this story.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about what's happening in Serving Elizabeth in both timelines.
Yeah. In 1952, Kenya, in Nyeri, Kenya, is preparing for a royal visit from Princess Elizabeth, and basically my character, as I said before, is hired to cook for them in the Sagana Lodge, which is one of the gifts that was given to the princess by the Kenyan people.
Okay.
So in 1952, basically, it focuses on the princess's arrival and what happens, and there's also like, without giving too much away, there's also like an uprising having Mama uprising because of what has happened to the colonization of the land and people wanting their land back. So there's a little bit of stirring of that where, and some people have said that, the royal visit instigated, the Mama uprising.
Right.
So that's sort of like what happens in 1952, and the play shifts, every scene takes place in one period or the other.
Yeah, and then in 2015, you come to realize that we're in the production office of a TV company who's making a TV show about that visit, that royal visit, very similar to The Crown, and so.
This is a very heavy topic to tackle, right?
Yes.
And you're trying to bring levity to this. How do you do that?
Well, it's so much in the script.
Yes.
Marcia Johnson, who wrote the play, has written such great comedy into the script, and even on opening night, we realized how much comedy there was and humor.
Yes. Opening night was on Wednesday, and the audience really enjoyed it.
Yes,
really enjoyed it.
Yes, they did, and it's also the story. The play gives out a lot of information about things that are happening in 1952 and also in 2015. Because at that time is when 2015 was when they did The Crown, when The Crown came out,
right?
And also, was up the beginning of Brexit.
Okay.
So it goes back and forth, and the audience on opening night were able to follow it.
That's really cool. And so this is the 7th production of this play.
Yes.
It's a brand new play. Why do you think it's so popular? Is it The Crown?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's that fascination of the Crown, the monarchy, and also taking it back to 1952, the royal visit. People are always fascinated, and The Crown was such a successful series as well. So
that is amazing. Well, Serving Elizabeth runs until the 23rd of November. If you want more details, we have a link on our website. Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, there's a lot going on this weekend, and Mother Nature couldn't have done a better job coming through for us. We're sitting at 4 degrees right now. Sure, there's a few extra clouds hanging around this morning, but the temperatures are going to be so much milder than anything we've experienced this week. There's a breeze out there. It's out of the south, gusting to 43 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity sitting at 84%. Now, sure, we're going to see a few extra clouds. We might even see some scattered precipitation, showers showing up across the south, but snow for northern Manitoba, and plenty of it, 10 to 15 centimeters across northern Manitoba. But even there, the temperatures will be incredibly mild, plus digits right up into northern Manitoba, double digits here in the south. So enjoy that 12 degrees today. It might come with some showers. It'll clear out for the weekend. We'll get the sunshine back, but the temperatures will be dropping off. However, -2, that's a normal daytime high. We're staying well above that right through the middle toward the end of next week. We're looking at some low plus digits on the way. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
We're going to send you off into the weekend with some fun video. We start with a mom who did something a little different with her wedding speech.
Food do we have at home? Mom, I'm starving. Can you bring me some taco amigo? Bruh, can you bring me some ranchos? Mom, thanks for raising me good. I love you.
Those are all the texts her son sent her through the years. They range from being hungry to apologizing to stealing her food to finding the love of his life. And
that's nice. At least she has texts to read out.
She still has them.
You'd have to respond in order to get that.
And then finally a sweet duet.
Ooh. Go. Yeah.
Oh, Dallas Cowboys cornerback Josh Butler likes to sing with his newborn son. And the little guy's hitting all the notes even before he can sit up by himself or hold his head up straight.
It's like wobbly. A squeeze toy. Those big hands on the belly.
So cute. And then we end with a Grey Cup tradition. Tough Enough, the mascot of the Calgary Stampeders, made his grand entrance at the Winnipeg Art Gallery. The tradition stretches back to 1948 when a Stamps fan rode a horse into the lobby of Toronto's Royal York Hotel. No cleanup here, that's for sure. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Grey Cup. We'll see you tomorrow at the Santa Claus Parade.